Welcome to Chronic Curiosity, where we have real conversations with real people, from everything to anything, in attempts to facilitate dialogue with our fellow humans, and hopefully your curiosity as well as ours. If you can withstand the show, we ask, most importantly, that you tell your friends and family, but also you can pick up some merch or just donate to the show at chronic-curiosity.com in USD or Bitcoin. If you feel so obliged, you can give us a good rating and follow on whatever podcast platform you so choose. But please feel free to reach out to us on the website or the socials, which can also be found on the website, chronic-curiosity.com. And here we go. It's pretty sturdy, but
Get
basically
ready
as
for
long
my
as it...
solo.
Yeah. And you're...
I want to hear it. I'm ready.
Let me warm up first.
Yeah. Are you a
Hold on.
singer? Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
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 She's gonna freestyle some rap though. I can feel it.
That I probably could do. I got bars. Every time I say that in front of Carter, though, he's like, don't.
Please don't.
Please don't do that.
Please stop.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing me in front of my friends, Mom.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't know if he would say that. I feel like I get the vibe that he would. Would he say that to you?
No, he wouldn't.
No.
But I actually make a point to try to not embarrass him because I just don't want to be that mom. Like, what's the point? People who are like, oh, like, it's my job to embarrass him. Like, no, it's not.
No.
It's actually not. I'm not going to try to be embarrassing. Like, that's weird behavior to me. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna be embarrassing enough as it is.
yeah,
Just-
easily, without even trying.
Yeah, I don't.
But he did tell me the one time because this kid that, like, my friend's kid, they were behind us in the drop-off lane. And I guess Carter got out of the car and was like, this kid goes, he's like, Mom, look at that kid right there. Like, his outfits are always so drippy. And so the one day I went to drop him off to school and he looked fly. He had on like his Kobe jersey and he has like matching Lakers like dunks. So he's getting out of the car and I was like, I dig your outfit today, bro. And I was like, you look drippy. And he goes, don't say that. And I was like, why? Like, you liked it when Blake said it. And he was like, it's different. Please don't say that. And I was like, all right.
He's 12.
He'll
11.
be 12 in January. He's 11.
Okay, so him and Kai are the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
So Drippy's off limits. Don't say
Drippy's
that.
off limits.
I hadn't even heard drippy as a thing.
That's like good. That's like fresh. Like you
Yeah.
look fly. You got swag. Like Drippy is swag.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know if I knew the absolute context, but I figured that
Yeah, I
would
could
be like.
fill it in.
You're gonna learn. I've learned.
Well, I feel like we missed some things being homeschooled for a year.
Oh,
So,
that's
like,
for sure.
Now that she's going back, she's starting 6th grade. So not only she's going back to public school, but she's going to middle school. I feel like shit's just gonna come out, and we're gonna be like
We're gonna learn some
overload.
things.
You'll learn.
She's
some
gonna learn
things.
things, and she's
Yeah.
gonna come. And I'm just not ready, but I'm ready.
I don't think it's been that bad, honestly. Like people were like, junior high was such a hard adjustment. Like that's not really been the vibe at our house. Like it's whatever. We haven't really dealt with like too much like controversial.
That's
Like I hear
Oh,
people complain
that's
about
good.
public schools all the time, and I'm like, I don't know what school y'all are going to. We really don't like.
That's good.
Maybe it's
is
the,
he in Orville? Or is he in Worcester?
yeah, he's in Orville.
in Orville. Okay.
I don't
He-
want him to go to Worcester.
He just he's going into 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5th grade is middle school at Orville.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it is in a lot of the like higher division schools. Because that's when I did that when because I had gone to a new school when I was in like 4th, 5th and 6th grade. 4th and 5th grade, I don't know, something like that. But it was 5th grade was like middle school.
Yeah.
They started earlier.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
He's
weird.
done
That's-
fine. And I feel like Kai is similar to Carter in that they're like kind of little old souls and not so like, you know what I mean? They're like a little more.
Or I feel like it's a lot of the parents.
Yeah,
a lot
you're
of the
probably
time.
right.
So you realize
Yeah.
you hear stories about these kids. You're like, oh, like this kid, that kid, like whatever. Like, hey, like maybe the kid's just having a bad day or something. Then you meet the kid, and it's like we just watched, was it Billy Madison?
Oh yeah.
The O'Douls?
Yeah.
Is it, or not, O'Doyles or
O'Doyle.
whatever. Oh, O'Doyles. Yeah. It's like you hear about it, it's like, oh, you guys are a bunch of shitheads. And
Yeah.
then you meet their parents and you're like, oh, well, they're kind of a product of their environment.
Yeah.
Like,
Nature versus nurture.
yeah, there's some
It's
of
a
that.
thing.
There's but
For sure.
it's not all one or the other, but there's definitely you see some
meet kids, even like grown adults, and then you meet their parents. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I see.
You're like,
where,
this makes sense.
I see where
Yeah.
this came from.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. I think we obviously just already started for like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's been
So
rolling,
let's-
so we can
Yeah.
start it.
Well,
You can
Courtney, I
clip it
appreciate
whenever you want.
you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I've known you for a while now, but mainly because you're the official, I think the only like official person that's ever cut my hair. My mom, when I was growing up,
That doesn't count.
would cut my hair all the time.
Yeah.
And then I just went to a straight buzz. So I started doing it because I swam and I played football.
I think
And,
whenever
like-
I first met you, you had like no hair.
Yeah,
It just
that's-
buzzed off.
It was like that probably till I was, almost 30, basically 30.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how these like football players do it with like all the dreads and all the hair and everything, and then put a football helmet on. Because like even like a regular like just normal length hair for a guy and having a football helmet on, it drove me crazy.
It's a sacrifice for the look.
Yeah, for the
You got to be
for
drippy.
the drip. For the drip. Yeah.
You got to be drippy.
See, we got this. Yeah.
He knows what's
They
up.
probably eventually get used to it.
I
It's
guess.
just
Yeah.
every
It becomes like a part of it
Yeah.
and just
I don't know, but then like, cause like you have that helmet on all the time, and it gets like your hair gets all messed up, and like, that sounds like a lot of work for guys wearing football
a
helmets with
commitment for
long
sure.
hair.
I remember Fred was doing his own hair and he started growing it back out a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, I expect to be bald by now. Like I have some hair." And he'd be like, "Hey, can you like help me around?" And I fucked it up like multiple times because like I don't do this.
Yeah.
I don't have a steady hand. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
yeah.
And he's like, "It's just easy. You just like buzz it." And I'm finally like, "You know what? Why don't you go see Courtney? Because you were doing my hair then."
That's yeah.
And now, every now and then he'll have me like help him, and I'll be like, "You need to call your girl because this is not
This
me."
is not
Yeah.
He'd be
working.
like, "Can you just-
I know, but
can you
I
maybe
got to clean this
do
up by like
this?"
tomorrow
I'm
just to
like,
get some of this.
"No, text her. I can't do it. You've got a girl for a reason.
It's too much
I'm
pressure.
not
Yeah,
it." Yeah.
it is. But that's what it was. I hit 30 and I was like, oh, I always expected to be bald, and I did all the sports, so like it was just made sense. It
Yeah.
was practical to me. Like I don't need hair, whatever. And then I was like, well, I'm 30. I got hair.
Might as well have nice hair.
Yeah, I might as well maybe I could give this whole like haircut thing a try.
I
And
dig
then you
it.
had a man bun.
And then I
Yes.
did. I grew it all the way out at some
I
point.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for a short time period, and then that went away. I did it, and then that was it. But
I was happy to see it, but I was happy to see you got
See
rid
it
of
go
it
too.
too. Yeah. Yeah, it was like it was cool.
It was nice while it lasted.
But I was ready for it to be, yeah.
yeah, I'm good without the man bun. But it was
dig a
fun.
man bun.
I know what it's like to find hair ties everywhere now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There just would be random hair ties everywhere.
Not anymore.
No, when you
When
had
you
a
had
man
a man
bun.
Yeah, that's
It's pretty weird if it was now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Like I find bobby pins and hair ties from you. and
Yeah, for
Cargill.
sure. That's what I'm saying. I know what it's like now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
To be on the other end of it.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but it's fine. It's short. I keep it. It's just so much work. But
Who you telling?
People like the
We
work.
know.
yeah, so people like obviously I understand why people put so much time into their hair because, it feels good.
It does.
You walk out there and it's like, I feel fucking
Confidence.
drippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna take it too far now.
Yeah.
I can feel
No,
it.
that's the whole
He
point
knows
of
what it
being
is
a-
now.
Yeah, that's the whole point
Go
of being
teach
a dad.
Kai that way. She knows what it is before she goes to junior
I'm going
high.
to destroy it for her.
So when these kids say it to her, she's gonna be like, "Why are you saying
My dad
shit that
used to-
old people
Yeah.
say?" Yeah, my dad says that.
She
Oh
won't even-
no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I'll totally fuck her up. I'm gonna
They'll
do
be like,
it,
"Yo, I
for
want to meet
sure.
your dad.
Yeah.
Dad's probably dope as hell." Teach her all the things before she goes. That way, she's not
That's-
surprised by any of it. She'll just be like, "I already heard this."
So we do that with all of the other things.
that's
It's-
good.
If she's old enough to ask the question, then she's old enough to get the answer.
See,
And we may
That's age
we may
appropriate.
dial how we phrase the answer
yeah, for sure.
I tend to go
down
too
to
far.
be age appropriate. She goes. She
Shocker
usually,
on uncut.
Yeah, a little.
Last night Fred said something. Oh, we were talking about getting a hot tub out back, so we were going to do that this fall. We're talking about getting a 4 or 6 person, even though we don't really have friends that would come over and hang out in the hot tub with us. However, a 4 person really only fits 2.5 comfortably.
Agreed. Yeah.
So if you do want to have, and I was like, well, we should get a 6 person so that when Kai wants to bring her boyfriend over years down the road,
There's still room for me.
we can,
and Jesus.
Yeah, obviously.
Enough room in between for Fred and Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said,
Well, we're buddies.
are you going to come out
so-
in your banana hammock? And Kai's like, what's a banana hammock?
Oh.
And he's like, kind of like a Speedo. And she's like, oh, I get it. I said, but do you get it? Are you visualizing
Yeah.
right? And she's like, Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I don't.
disgusting.
And I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that you were like grasping. And she's
See,
like, could you stop?
It's me by myself in a house with a young man. So I'm like, I know that he's going to learn stuff, but I'm like not in a hurry to have awkward conversations.
Yeah.
So if he
I
would
just plow right through it.
yeah, see, I should do that probably, but like if he asks me something, I'll tell him like the most like appropriate way, whatever. But I find myself like avoiding stuff. He likes to watch these YouTube shorts, and there's like this one on. He doesn't get things, and this is how I know because he's watching this YouTube short, and it's like this kid comes out of his room. He's holding tissues and lotion. And the mom's sitting there by his computer. And she's like, we're going to try the new place in town for dinner. It's called Pork Hut. So I'm just going to use your computer to Google the menu. And the kid's like, oh my God, no. Like, he starts like imploding. And I literally was like, because I just wanted to see, like, are you red in the face? Like, do you have a reaction? Do you know what he's talking about? It was complete. And I said, do you get it? And he's like, no. I said, because not funny. Next. So he just like switched it.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, there's
so
no
I was like, I don't think he gets stuff yet. And I'm happy to leave it there. I'll probably have to handle it at some point because 6th grade, they do like sex ed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. They did a little bit of something in 5th grade at Smithville. I think it was like more like the menstrual talk.
Oh, yeah. I had that talk with him.
Yeah. So I think that they did that with the 5th grade at Smithville,
Yeah.
but I think 6th grade is like the sex talk.
Well, I tried to get him, he had a bloody nose, and I tried to get him to let me shove a tampon up his nose. And he's like, that's not going to work. I was like, but it will. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
So then I explained the whole period thing to him, and I was like, you're at the age, so like if you see a girl, it looks like she has, blood on her
She's
butt.
probably
like,
shedding her uterus.
Yeah, like give her your sweater. Like don't embarrass her. It's normal. Blah. You can tell he's being raised by a mom.
No, I think
He still wouldn't let me do it.
So
He's like, yeah, you're
great.
still not doing that.
I don't think the period talk just should be with girls because
Yeah, me neither.
she goes to school with 50%. Actually, she in her grade it's like 70-30. So there's a lot more boys than there are girls.
That's
it's
crazy.
Very unbalanced.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that they should know that.
Wouldn't you want some boy being raised by a mom to be like, hey, here's my sweater? Like,
Yeah, or who
Yeah.
has older sisters.
And
Fred
even-
has
Yeah.
older sisters and was just with his mom. He does not. So I've told
Yeah, I
her, like,
understand the
I'm like-
only boy to.
I'm like, Daddy doesn't give a fuck. Like, if I'm not around and you start your period,
go tell him.
Daddy's been there. You should see that he's had to go to the store for me.
Yeah.
He will throw chocolate bars at you. Like, he will get
I
it.
will, yeah.
So if,
She ain't gonna come to you. She's gonna go to him because she's
She's
gonna be like, I need chocolate bars.
yeah, right? So it's just like, I don't know. It's
I mean, at the very pure core of it, like, do we not teach biology
Yeah.
in school? Like reproductive organism, like do we like mammals, like all like there's just it's just something that happens.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
at
When they
its
separate
pure
the
core.
boys and the girls, and they do the sex talk and the whole.
But I feel like they only tried to
reproductive-
preach abstinence to us. Do
They
you
do.
remember it that
Yeah,
way?
they did quite a bit
Absolutely.
of that.
So
not
do they
realistic.
teach boys about the menstrual cycle? Like
No, that's what I'm
the
saying.
like I don't know. I've never been a boy in that class. So like, did they discuss that with
I
you
don't
guys?
remember. It's hard to remember.
Or
Really, all you see, all you ever remember is like seeing phallic images. That's all you remember as like a 5th, 6th grader. You're like, oh, look at that.
So maybe
It's a
they do
penis up
discuss it, and
there.
everyone's just 6th grade.
You know?
You're immature, and you hear penis and vagina, and you
But I
know,
do
you're
remember,
giggling,
like,
and that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like the way the conversations usually went though. It was still very like so awkward. Like
Yeah.
the way they held the conversations. It wasn't like biology like if it was just like, hey, we're doing biology class and guess what? This week is reproduction and we're going to go into all the things that connect with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't
Like, it
know. I
would
feel
just
like
make-
I want to be like I feel like I wish 10 years ago I would have realized that I wanted to be like a sex educator because I don't feel awkward having those conversations.
Well, it's
And
never too late.
And I feel like people, they feel
You're right.
awkward and they're talking to kids. And I'm like, kids are who we should be talking to about
Yeah.
this. And I don't want to go into, like you said, abstinence. Like it's like a purity culture, especially here in Wayne County. And that's not how I want to go about things.
Well, it's
I don't
not
want to
realistic.
tell her like, no.
Right.
They'll
like,
just have sex
They're
behind your
going to
back.
have sex
Yeah.
anyways. I remember what it was like to be 17, 18.
Yeah, same.
Like, I want her to be safe and I want her to make smart decisions.
Mhm.
But then I want to go further and also, like, it's for your pleasure too. So ask for what you want, say no. All those things. They don't
See,
teach you that shit.
And bridging into that, raising a man, I feel like something that I need to focus on whenever it comes to that conversation is the topic of consent. because
for sure.
Mhm.
growing up in this society where it's like, it's much more complex than whenever we grew up. I actually dated this guy one time that he was in the military, and they would show this video about consent, but it was about like asking somebody if they want tea. Like, you don't ask them more than once. You don't like, it's just this whole thing, but they relate it to like asking for tea. So literally when I finally have the talk with him, I'm going to make him watch this consent video on tea, because I don't want him to ever like, I can't ever see him, he's so calm and docile, but it's important to be aware of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
I think on both fronts,
like
right,
if you
is
give
to
somebody
teach-
tea and then they're like, hey, actually, I don't want this tea. You don't force them to drink the tea.
Right.
Right. Like, even if they change their mind after you've already poured the tea, you
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
changed
force
my
them.
mind now. I'm
Yeah.
no longer thirsty. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
And you're like, all right. Yeah. No tea for
Yeah,
you.
well, I think that's important, especially for. I'll go back to you mentioned being a single mom of a boy. I think one of the, at least kind of understanding that from the other end is like just being open there and
Mhm.
being available as a mom.
Yeah.
And like not necessarily dropping hints, but like saying, hey, I'm going to open this door. I'm not going to make you feel too awkward. I'm not going to make you like sit down and like go through all this, but like, hey, here's the door.
Yeah.
It's open. So
I've
like,
tried to-
I'm open to it. Cause like I remember my mom one time, like, hey, do you need me to go get you condoms?
Absolutely not.
And it was
Don't
like,
ever say that to me again.
no, I was like, I'm good,
good,
mom.
Mom. Yeah.
But it was enough. And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
But she was like, do I need to buy you condoms? And I'm like, no, thank you, mom.
Yeah.
She's like,
At least
do you,
she asked.
But that was all it was and it let me know that like, if I ever needed to talk to her about something, like those like little things like that, where it's like, no, you're reminding me to be safe.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. Like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, but being open about that, I think is
Yeah.
massive. And then I totally forgot where I was going with that because I walked all the way back there.
Well, we were talking about, you said on both sides how
Oh,
asking, does she want tea? I think that that's really important. But I also think that females, we've had very open and honest conversations about this just with where we're at in 2023 and everything. I don't know what it's like to be a 15, 16-year-old boy with raging testosterone. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's like. I can't begin to
It's
assume
not
I know what
fun,
it's
I
like.
can tell you that.
Sounds fun.
I couldn't imagine just being like, hey, having a boner for no reason in the middle of class with my, gym shorts on. I don't know what
That'd be
that's
awkward.
like.
It happens.
So I think that having that conversation with
Terrifying.
females
You know
too,
what?
that like you can say no, but their shit's not just immediately going to shut down.
Yeah.
So now there's like all of this, I just imagine all of this like cluster shit in their heads, like their shit's raging. They thought this thing was going to happen and now it's not.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you move forward. But I think that women, girls, young girls also need the understanding that like they may have to get up and walk away because they got to clear their shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, while you can say no, that they will absolutely need to stop. They may need to stop, but you know what I mean? Like a different, I've never been a male with high testosterone hormones raging, but like having you be so honest about it was really helpful that like, oh, like, and then if you throw in alcohol in the mix or, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important for both sides in both ways of one understanding where people have boundaries, like even inherent boundaries that you should never have to ask about, right? Like, no, I
don't want tea.
Yeah, I'm solid. I'm not moving any further
Yeah.
on anything at this point in
Yeah.
time. Like in listening to people and understanding that that respect level and trying to curtail the aggressiveness of the male, but also in protection of the guy, because they need to understand that like you're in a precarious situation when the testosterone's flowing.
Yeah. I'm
So,
hoping
like,
I
there's-
have a solid more 5 years,
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years.
Bro.
Dear Jesus.
No.
Please let me have like 5 more years.
I mean,
I'm gonna say
he's
about-
going to be 12 in January.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
max of 2.
2.
Maybe not before he's having sex, but it's definitely going to be.
Oh, yeah,
His
but,
shit's
like,
going to be raging
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I hope that if I'm like talk about things with him, then maybe he won't be curious to like try shit on it. Like nobody talked to me about anything ever.
my
I didn't even know
buddies
what
in
a
the
period was
playground.
whenever I started. I didn't know what it was. I thought I was dying. I thought I had cancer.
Oh,
Yeah, see, and
no.
I thought I had
refused to
cancer
have
whenever I started getting
Kyrie.
pubic hair too. Like literally my parents didn't.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm hoping, education kind of, it takes away the guesswork. Like if you're educated on what's happening, you're like, okay, I already know like what this is. So I don't have to necessarily like push it to figure it out because somebody already told me that this is going
Right.
to
That's
happen.
And
that's
those-
where our thoughts are. Like I've seen TV shows where the girls like freak out. They don't know what to do with their period. I refuse for that to be Kai. She's got her little pack.
Yeah,
she
thank
took it
God.
to school with her 4th grade. She had it with her all last year. She hasn't started yet, but she's got all the stuff. She knows how to use it. She knows what to prepare for.
Yeah.
I don't need her best friend teaching her how to do that in the middle of 4th period.
I remember I went home and was like, something happened to me at school today and like said what happened. And my mom was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I should have told you. I didn't know.
Whoops.
I had a B cup in 4th grade. Like what do you thought was going to happen?
Yeah, right.
I literally was like, I had
that's
boobs. I had
That's a good indicator.
boobs.
Yeah.
like,
Hey, here they are.
Yeah, that's it's
Yeah.
I think too. Yeah.
sorry, mom.
Yeah. Well, I think that little bit of knowledge and whatever it is, whether it's the sexual, arena in those interactions of understanding if you have those talks and have those moments of, hey, there's multiple things going on here in this person's eyes and this person's eyes and this person's body and this person's body. And like, you have to understand a little bit of that and understanding, hey, if you start bleeding, it's probably a natural thing that's happening as
Yeah.
you're going through puberty. Like, so if you have just a little bit of information beforehand, when you get in those situations, it might not always because kids are dumb too, but like it gives them a little bit of knowledge to be able to go, okay,
I'm not scared of this.
I kind of,
I've
I
heard
was
of
told
this
about this.
before.
This is probably the right thing to do in
Yeah.
this situation, but without any knowledge whatsoever.
We're all winging it is what
Yeah.
this boils down to.
Yeah.
We're winging this.
Bunch of
Yeah.
a bunch of teenagers winging it also sounds terrible. So, because I know how
Yeah.
dumb I was when I was a teenager.
I also was dumb as a teenager. Like not intellectually dumb. I got good grades, but when I think back of like some of the choices that I made, I'm like, ugh.
I don't think any of us get out without
Yikes.
doing that.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah,
right.
and if you did,
And
you're
if you do, you're
real
gonna-
lame-o.
You're gonna have real, your early
fucking
20s are
square,
gonna be real
fucking
fucked up.
square.
Yeah. Square.
That's hilarious.
Mm. But backing up, people like to look fly and drippy, and that's how. So you just opened up a brand new studio.
Yeah.
So you've been I don't know. You can't. Are you technically my hairstylist because you
Yeah.
don't really style my hair?
Yeah, I do.
You just cut it. I mean, okay. I wasn't
What?
sure of the technicalities.
Yeah. I don't think there's necessary.
Okay.
People always like, what do I call you? But I've been called like hairdresser. That's a little more like old school term. Hairstylist, hair cutter.
Hair cutter. It just,
Yeah.
That sounds so.
I have one guy that's like, you're my hair cutter. I'm like, I am technically.
I call you my head mower.
Yeah.
No. But so you've been doing this for a while. How'd you get started? I guess maybe let's start us there. How'd you decide like this is what I want to do? And
I just like always liked playing with hair. Like I had an older sister, so I would like do her hair for her dances or like her friends. And I always did my hair like I had all the drip going to school. I would do like the
See, now she's
cornrows.
using it too
The
much.
cornrows with like a butterfly clip on each one.
Ooh, the
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
And then like a big messy bun. Like I could just, you know what I mean? Like junior high, I literally could like do these styles. And like I learned how to cornrow my own hair. So I'd have like little tiny braids like going back with like a big bun.
So it's like your hobby from early on.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed it. And so then like whenever it was like time to go to the career center, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go do cosmetology. And I remember my parents being like, no, you probably should like, go to like med school or be a lawyer. Like I got like straight A's in
Typical,
school. So they
right.
were like, yeah, you can't really make a career out of like playing with hair.
Mm.
Look at me
Yeah.
now.
Here we are.
Yeah, it worked out. So, I mean, I think it was just like a really nice thing because it was like a passion and I was good at it. So I went to the career center and graduated. I was like young whenever I was in school. So I graduated pretty young. I started doing hair whenever I was 17, passed my boards, got my first job at Fiesta Salon in Orville, which is not there anymore.
Mm.
And just like, I worked there for like 8 years, built up my clientele. Worked my way into management. That's where I met Trisha. They brought Trisha from the Worcester Fiesta to be the manager. So she was the manager. I was the assistant manager. So her and I go like way back. And yeah, went out on my own for a minute, like got my independent contractor's license so I could like rent a booth and control my own schedule because I had Carter. And I was
Oh,
like,
so you have to have like a particular license to be
Yeah.
able to do that.
yep. So I had my regular cosmetology license, my advanced cosmetology license, which enabled me to be a manager. And then I got my independent contractor's license so that I was able to go rent a booth. So I left Fiesta was trash. They got bought out by this company called Regis. They do like the salons like in Walmart and stuff.
Oh.
And they kept like messing with my pay scale.
That's-
So I got paid like nothing, like pennies. And it was like, you have to work 2 evenings. You got to work every Saturday,
my
one
goodness.
Sunday a month, scheduling inventory. Like it was a whole lot for very little. So
Is booth rental, is that what majority of salons are?
the more established
Like
salons,
the more established, okay.
yeah. If you go to like a walk-in salon, like a Sports Clips or a Master Cuts or a Great Clips or like what's that one that was in Walmart? Best Cuts, things like that. Those are your commission-paid employees, so you get like a percentage But there are established salons that have both. Like the salon that I left, that I was at for like 7 years, the most recent before I opened Flourish, they had both. So they would have
Okay.
like some commission girls, but then there was independent contractor girls that like rented spaces in there. So my salon is all independent contractors. It's the best tax model. Like if you have commission paid employees, you're responsible for paying into Social Security, Medicaid, workman's comp. Like you have to have insurance on them, where you know what I mean, it opens a door for a
So-
lot more.
So they rent a space
Mhm.
from you,
Correct.
and then do they set all their own
Yep.
prices,
All
and
of
they
it.
can do whatever
Yeah.
they want to do in their area?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are essentially like when you're an independent contractor, you have your own business, you just rent a space inside of somebody else's building. So they control all of their own stuff. And like there's a couple girls that are newer to it and they'll be like, you know, what do I charge for this service? I'm like, whatever you want.
Whatever
and
you
we
can
and we
figure out,
support
people
that.
pay it.
Like if you feel like it is a tedious task and you want to charge more for it, then you do that. And if they're like, "Oh, I want to speak to somebody, like this is a lot." Like, well, that's what it is. So, you know, it's like nice to be able to like not only have independence for myself, but to encourage independence for the people that are there. Because it's like once you're self-employed and you don't work for anybody, it is like it's the bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really the bomb.
Is that it seems to be that's part of one of the biggest reasons why you branched out and finally got a space.
Absolutely.
And opened it up yourself. So how did you get to that point in that decision making and be able to, because that's still another big step
Yeah.
to open up an entirely new space.
It is. Like Trisha and I had always talked about opening our own salon, and we both were like active. We have boys the same age. Her son goes to Worcester, and they're 5 months apart. We were pregnant at the same time. So we both did like the room mom thing, and we said once the boys went to junior high that maybe we would pursue like our own, you know, whatever. And like a month into junior high, I got forced to leave the salon that I was at for 7 years because I spoke up about a bunch of unprofessional stuff that was happening. And they literally said that, well, what they said was, you hurt my feelings and I can't get over it. And I'm not in a position to leave my company. So you have to leave. And I was like, okay. So I bawled. Like I called Trisha as soon as I left that meeting, just bawling. Cause I'm like, I'm a single income household. Like now what? You know what I mean? They literally said I have to leave. I've been there for 7 years. Like what am I doing? What am I doing?
She worked there too, right?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
guys share a booth? At one point you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I literally was just like, what the F am I going to do now?
Yeah.
So I cried really hard for one night. And then the next morning I woke up and was like, I think I'm going to open my own salon. So I was like telling her like, yo, this is the time. Like we literally said when the boys went to junior high, and it felt like a month in junior high, it felt like God was like,
Yeah.
like
put
you
it
better
out in
go.
the universe,
Spartan
right?
kicked me out the door. And I had felt like I outgrew that place like some time before that, but I was just like,
Comfortable?
yeah, I was comfortable. I was definitely complacent because I mean, it was like 11 miles from my house. My
Oh.
clientele was there. The girls that I work with are like my family. Like we're tight knit. You know what I mean? So it was like, I'm here, whatever. And I was just kind of like waiting on a sign. Like, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, oh,
There it
you're
is.
fired.
Yeah, there it is.
This is your sign. Time to go. So yeah, the following week that happened on a Thursday, and the following week on a Tuesday, Trish and I met with our financial advisor. I did like mad research over the weekend, like educated myself on like LLCs, S corps, like tax models, what opening a business looked like, how to go about applying for a loan, arranging my own personal finances to see like what can I afford to put up, what am I going to finance, what am I going to pay out of pocket, and even like just Googling pictures of salons, like what kind of vibe do I want, you know what I mean? So we went into the financial advisor meeting and I literally was just like, this is all the research that I wrote down. I took notes and my guy was like, you're fine. What do you need me for? And I was like, I don't know. I just like need to know that this is good, right? Like
someone to check this.
Yeah. And I literally remember he was like, I don't have people come in here and like not only ask questions, but the right questions. Like you're going to be just fine. And I was like, all right, dope. So literally I left, I had a lash appointment and went to my girl. I used to work with her at Revamp and she moved up to the salon at the North End. And I walk in and the owner, who I also know, her name's Taylor. Sup, Taylor? She was in there and she's off on Tuesdays, but she happened to be in there. Like when I tell you everything just aligned for this. And I walk in and I was like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, just, doing, side stuff, whatever. And she looked at me, she said, are you ready to work here yet? I have a job for you, or I have a space for you. And I was like, well, as a matter of fact. And she was like, what? So I was like, I have to leave where I'm at. Like, basically, like, I will come here, but I think I want to open my own salon. So, like, it could be 6 months. It could be a year. I'm not sure. I just want to be upfront about that, like, this is what my plan is. I really want to pursue this. And she was like, I support that. Like, move in at any point. Like, if you need to move in tomorrow, like, I got you. So just having like support from like a female who was like, I'm not trying to tear you down. Like, I'm trying to win, but I'm trying to see you win too. Like, it was like, it did a lot for me, honestly. So I moved to Studio 83 and worked there for 6 months while we put stuff together. And it was actually surprisingly easy. Like, you'd think it'd be so stressful. And like Trisha had a baby in the middle of it. Like, it ended up being like a high risk pregnancy. So she was on bed rest. So it was like I was doing her clientele and my clientele and trying to get the salon together, plus baseball/basketball season and running my own household. Like, it was a lot, but I literally just felt this like complete peace about it. And I was like, that's how I know it's for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not stressed. Like, everybody's like, are you losing your mind? I'm like, I probably should be, but I'm not. Like, I feel great, actually. Like, I'm pumped about this. So, yeah, just like got things lined up. Contractors, flooring guy, paint guy, like started picking things out. And like, just, we went in. There was a salon downtown Worcester. It's called Hairbenders. And Trisha used to work there years ago. But the woman, she has like a full-time job somewhere else, like a pharmacy, not related to hair. And so she was still like running the salon, but just, I think, was kind of ready to get out of it. Right. So we started like negotiating with her about buying the property. And I was like, being downtown would be so dope. Like, it's like up and coming. Things are moving there. Like, that'd be amazing.
It is turned into a really nice
It's
area
amazing.
in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it really is.
It's surprising.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And there was like a period in time where it was like, we couldn't necessarily agree on the terms of it. We wanted one thing, she wanted something else. And I was like, I'm not going to force it. Like, I feel like this is meant for us, but I'm just going to walk away from it. And then like a couple weeks later, she came back and was like, all right.
Fine.
Yeah. Like, all right, let's talk about this. So we negotiated some more, came to an agreement, and we took ownership on April 1st. Literally went in April 1st, me, Trisha's man, Joey, our friend Taylor, Taylor's husband, Nick, our other friend, Ashley's husband, Tyler, like went in and demoed the place out. It was so fun. Like, took mirrors off the walls, took cabinets off the walls. There was 2 half walls they cut out. Like, we gutted it out the best we could in one day. And then April 3rd, our contractors went in and we renovated it, built it from the bottom up in 30 days. And opened on May 1st.
That's awesome.
It was so cool.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like a very much of a, if you're enjoying what you're doing,
Yeah.
it's not work. That
It
whole
wasn't
like
work.
whatever bullshit
Yeah.
say. Like, if you do what you enjoy, you never work a day in your life.
It's true.
That's really awesome. And it's
I think you mentioned something earlier about like the positivity of other people around you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why it gets stuck in. I don't think people actually realize it, but it seems to me like they have this, if somebody else is succeeding or doing well, they're like, it's somehow like taking away from them.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
When like I've seen it from the other end of being like kind of dragged up, where you have a bunch of successful people in whatever term that is, whether it be happiness or, business or, their home lives, whatever it is, when they're living a positive life and they're doing positive things and they continue just to connect with people that are doing stuff and trying to help each other out. It's like this group collective raising instead of, I get the thoughts of envy and jealousy, like, because everyone you always have a little bit of that, right?
We're human.
But like, if you just look at that and be like, that's awesome for that person, that's cool. Next thing you know, that person that did find success in doing something might be like, hey, I got a spot for you.
Yeah.
Instead of years, like, people think about like, I saw this thing the other day where somebody had like took this video of this guy that was in trouble. He had like taken stupid story, but I'm gonna tell it anyways because I already started.
Do it.
This guy had ran a bobcat skid steer into like a river. And this guy was videoing him and he was like, oh, I'd help this guy out. But his brother treated my sister wrong like 8 years ago or something like that. And I was like, Jesus, bro. Like,
tell me you hold a grudge without telling me you hold a grudge.
It wasn't like, oh, this guy beat my sister up 5 years ago, so fuck him. Okay, I get that. But it was like his brother treated my sister poorly 8 years ago. What? Like, just like it shows the mentality of some people, and it's like I don't understand that at all.
I know people like that.
It's like, why? It doesn't do you any good
at all.
Like all you do is just you harbor that, and you don't sleep well, and you're always angry all the time.
And they're fine.
Yeah,
they're living rent free in your head, and they're fine.
Right?
Yeah. I don't get it. I say this all the time. I am the luckiest. Like, I have the strongest group of people around me. Like just friends that are our family, like the women that I work with, even their husbands, like they know that I'm like, a single person. So it's like, oh, you need a truck? Like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, just the strongest support group ever. Like, people who have like believed in this from the very beginning and are like, yeah, I want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the coolest thing because I feel like there's people that don't even necessarily have one or two true friends, and I literally have like a group, like a solid group of women who like handle their shit, who are smart businesswomen, good moms. Like, I mean, just I feel so lucky to have that, and it's made the whole process of like doing all of this like so much easier.
Well, I think there's not a lot of people that do. I mean, we joke about friends all the time because we don't really have any. She'd mentioned, I think before we started, we were talking about, I don't know, we were talking about a hot tub or something like that. It was like,
yeah.
Oh, like, yeah, we don't have any friends that we'd sit in a hot tub with. But like, I don't know, that's a difference between like having people that you can have around you and support you and know, even if like you don't necessarily talk to them all the time, but if you've built relationships over time, they like, there's not a lot of people that have a ton of people that can call at any point in time and say, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. And people, yep. All right.
See, and this is what makes it even more beautiful is I have like major hyper independence issues. Like, I am incapable of asking for help. Somebody will offer me help and I'll be like, yeah, that's great. I'm not going to call you because
that's okay. Same way.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm literally incapable of it. And like, when we were in the salon, like renovating, they just showed up like in grungy ass clothes. And we're like, you want me to paint the bathroom or you want me to do this other random ass thing? You know what I mean? Like, literally just showed up. Like, that's the type of shit I'm talking about because I can't just call people and be like, hey, can you help me? Because
if they know you well enough, they're going to know like she needs help, but she's not going to ask for it.
Yeah.
So we got to just show up.
And they did.
Like, that's like asking the mom who like just had a baby, like, well,
what can I do
let
for
me
you?
know if you need anything compared to showing up
with food
cooked. Yep. Or, hey, take a nap. I'm going to clean your house. There's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes other people don't necessarily see that either. Like,
her dad, my father-in-law, is the exact same way. Even if I ask him specifically, like sometimes we're like, hey, like he'll be working on something. I'm like, what can I give me something to do? And he'll be like,
I got it. Yeah. I'm the same way.
But to say like years ago, I was replacing my roof and I was like, I'm going to do it myself. And then next thing I know, her dad, she's like, hey, my dad's coming over to help. I'm like, I didn't ask for his help. She's like, yeah, he knows. But
you need people like that in your life.
Yeah.
You need people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's also letting people get to know you too, and being able to form those relationships and bonds with people, so you start understanding each other.
Yeah,
and it helps by not being a crappy person start off with. You know, you have to start there, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to be your friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but it's so pretty. So how did you guys come up with this? Like right now, I'm looking at your
the Facebook.
It's so pretty inside too.
I love it so much. Like, thank you. It's like my happy place there.
Even me, because I'm obviously not a hair salon person per se, but I walk in, I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, he came home and he's like, it's really cute. You would like it.
Like, like the name, we were trying to figure out a name that just sounded like beautiful. Like I'm a reader. So I was like, I need something that sounds nice.
It flows.
Yeah, like something that's like attractive, like an attractive word, which sounds funny to say, but words can be attractive, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
So I originally wanted to name it Florissant, which is the French word for bloom. But Trisha was like, I feel like people will mispronounce it. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. Yeah, they would butcher
I loved it. And then
yeah.
it's like, oh, no one's going to.
Yeah. And I was like, I know what it says. So I was like, oh, but I love it so much. And I was like, you're right. Like, you're right, though. People will butcher it.
Yeah.
And
Marketing.
she's like, yeah. And she's like, they might think it's like a flower shop or something. So she started sending me like other words and sent me Flourish. And I was like, I actually love that because, you know, I'm a plant whore. Like, I just love plants. And I was like, that's what we're doing. That's what plants do. Like, we're flourishing. We didn't realize until after the fact that Flourish is actually a combination of our names too. Like O-U-R out of my name and R-I-S-H out of her name. And I was like, bro, this is meant to be too. Yeah. And then Flourish Beauty Bar. So we started like rocking with that. And then we got our LLC and like that name was available through the state of Ohio. So I was like, all right, here we go. So we got the LLC like pretty early. And then my friend Amanda, who she does nails at my salon. She did my nails. She's the bomb. She actually developed that little like emblem right there that's in the circle. And I was like, that is stunning. Like, it's stunning. I love it. It's like simplistic, but it's beautiful. Like, she looks like she's flourishing, like she's growing a plant out of, like, I rock with it. And then we sent these things to Trisha's dude, Joey, his brother-in-law, Vic Sanchez. He lives in Chicago, and that's like what he like designs logos and stuff. So we sent what we had to him in Chicago, and he designed our sign for outside.
Nice.
And then we sent he sent the files over to Sign Design, and they were great. They came and like took the old sign down. I think you saw the video of that, and put the new sign up. And yeah, it just all kind of like rolled together, and like, yeah, the interior. Like Trish and I remember we only had a couple creative differences, like as far as designing the place, but I found this Pinterest picture of a salon that had these gorgeous brown chairs. And I was being particular because like on a salon chair, normally like this bottom part is separate from the armrest. So like hair gets down in there. Yeah. And you have to like take like a towel with like a comb and like scrape. And I was like, I need one continuous piece. I've got like a little bit of OCD. So I found these brown chairs and I was like, I love these. And she's like, they'll get stained. We need black. I'm like, I'm not doing the black and gray thing. Like, that's what everybody does. I'm not doing it. We'll break up over this. Obviously joking. She stuck with me for life. I was obviously kidding, but I was like, no, like the brown chairs, please just let me have the brown chairs. So the entire salon was pretty much designed around, I found the brown chairs out of the Pinterest picture, found the specific website that sold them. They had matching shampoo bowls. And then we just kind of started piecing it together from there. We both knew, like, she loves plants too, so we both knew we wanted, like, neutrals and plants to, like, go with it. And, yeah, just started like slowly piecing it together, and it just came together beautifully.
It does. Now that you mention it, it does have a very like earthy, flourishy, like
yeah.
that
Good.
vibe.
That was kind of
Yeah,
that was
it
the
does.
point. We
Yeah,
didn't want
absolutely.
like so like
I wouldn't be able to describe it because that's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at that.
yeah.
But it does. That's exactly.
We wanted like
you
some
nailed it.
sort of like boho naturey, clean, like
Yeah,
you know,
nailed
just naturalist kind of vibe in there. So
So what all do you guys have in the salon? You mentioned nails. So
yeah,
hair and
so
nails.
full service hair, nails. Trisha's an esthetician, so you can do facials, microdermabrasion, chemical peels, dermaplaning, pretty much anything you could want skincare. She's so great at it. Like my skin has never been so good. She's got me
Would
on
she like do education, like sit down and be like, you actually need this, this, and this.
Yes.
And here are some options.
yes.
So that you don't look old when you actually get old, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I need. Because there's so many conflicting things online, and like people just want you to buy their stuff. But I
Yeah.
just need someone to be like, you need this and this and this, and do it in this order. And here are some options.
So let me tell you the number one thing, and she's going to kiss me on the face for telling you this. The number one thing that you need to prevent yourself from looking old is SPF every day of your life.
I started that about a year ago.
There you go.
I don't do retinol yet though, so I feel like I'm probably behind the.
No,
the
you're
curve
all
on
right.
that.
But yeah, if you went in and you said like, hey, I have these issues, or like, hey, I don't really have issues, but like I need like a nice skincare routine. Like I have a whole skincare routine now, and I never had it before she got her license. But yeah, literally like every day she's like, do you have your SPF on? But it's like face, neck, like this décolletage area. Like I even started doing like the top of my boobs because you know, like some old women have like it's like wrinkly right
They're
here.
wrinkled.
I started
Imagine
like
everything
putting
else
SPF like
smooth,
over,
and then
yeah.
your
He's
boobs are
got
wrinkly.
No.
Like,
wrinkly
damn.
boobs.
I need these to be
Yeah.
golden for forever.
Yeah,
so I
like-
literally like I go like over the tops of them too, and I started doing the backs of my hands.
Do you wear sunglasses a lot? Because I just went to the eye
Yes.
doctor yesterday, and she's like, do you prioritize sunglasses? And I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah, she would
not
have to wear sunglasses a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're a ginger.
And I have light eyes, and I have an astigmatism
That's
in both
right. You
eyes.
can't-
So
So he
it's
does
not
too.
even.
I need to protect these baby blues.
I'm blind.
I have like growths
Like-
in my eyes I basically have like sunspots in my eyeballs right now. But my eyes are so dark, when he needs sunglasses, I still don't need them. And so I wasn't protecting my eyes, even though I put sunscreen
I
everywhere.
have to. I can't take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I can't take
I
it.
never really, why would I think that like
Why would you
sunscreen's
think
good for my skin? Why would I think that I need to protect my eyes? Like, I'm a nurse. That's
It's
fucking
not like
stupid.
It's not like
But
your
I
eyes
didn't
a
think about
giant
it.
membrane of.
Yeah.
It's not an
like,
organ at all.
No.
Your skin's an organ. Your eyes are an
You know,
organ.
it's a
collects
portal to my
light.
soul.
Yeah.
I
That
was just-
specifically
But it's
collects
dark,
light.
so it filters
Yeah.
out all of this.
I was just like, I just need that vitamin D. It's fine.
I know.
Give it to me. Well, now
I
I've got these
literally, I
growths.
think I was a lizard in a past life because I was born with the wrong melanin. Like I just freckle, but I literally love to sit in the sun and like bake myself.
It feels so good.
Yes. Oh my God, I love it so much.
I don't get too bad. I have enough enough in me that I usually don't like burn, super burn. But I just kind of get red during the summer, and then usually about like 3 weeks after summer's over, I'm just right back to white.
Yeah,
Like
I
super
burn and then it peels off and I'm white underneath it.
I think last time I saw you, I don't know, I feel like I always see you in Aldi. You had just gotten back from vacation and you were like, yeah, it's fine. I'll be fine in a couple of days.
Yeah, I probably was fried. And I wear sunblock regularly because I know myself, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've been, I think, more diligent about it since she kind of like gave me like skin education and like, I mean, I don't want to, you know, look wrinkly and stuff whenever I'm older. So I am definitely more diligent about taking care of my skin like I should have whenever I was younger. But you know, goes back to the other thing, education. Like I didn't know. So
hair, skin,
nails.
nails.
We also do eyelash extensions, lifting and tinting, which is like literally like a perm and a color for your for your eyelashes. Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you don't want to wear mascara, if you're going on vacation to the beach or whatever, people who don't want the commitment of extensions because you have to get those filled, they'll get them lifted and tinted so it curls them, colors them black, so it looks like you're wearing a little bit of makeup. So whenever you get out of the ocean,
That makes sense.
you still look a little alive. Brow lamination, which is like combing your eyebrows up and essentially like putting them in place, and then they stay like chemically it alters the hair so it stays there. We also have an industrial spray tan system there. It needed work. It was at the salon before that we purchased, but it needed some maintenance. So I'm hoping to get that together like in the next week. It's just been so stinking busy lately. So hopefully soon we'll be offering that too. But nails, pedicures, we have gorgeous pedicure bowls. They're like freestanding and they're made from hand hammered copper, which is a naturally antimicrobial material. They're very beautiful. They make me happy. Just the whole thing makes me happy. So
That's really cool.
yeah, full service.
What's been the most difficult part of the whole thing?
Probably the most difficult. I guess it's a good thing that I have to think about that, isn't it? I feel thankful for that feeling. Maybe just like helping people navigate the change. Like from the previous salon, there was 4 of the 5 women that stayed on, and in addition to ours, so they were used to like a very quiet environment, and it's not so quiet. Like it's busy in there. We have a staff of 15 now, including Trisha and I. And so obviously not everybody is there at the same time, but it's louder in there. It's, it's a lot of change. So it's like helping them kind of navigate the change and understand that like we have a certain way that we want to do things. And just, I feel like that has been making sure that I'm like gentle about helping them navigate. Cause I can tend to just be like, this is how we're doing it. Like, I understand it's louder. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is what it is. We're happy you're here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's like typically or at least a lot of times you find that like some of the most difficult challenges we face is where we learn the most.
Yeah.
I'm just asking if you have, like, is there anything that you kind of like glean from that?
Just being more gentle and using more like it boils down to like managerial skills, which I haven't had to use in a while because I just worked somewhere, and using like conflict resolution skills that I've developed like over the past however many years. And I mean, whenever you get a bunch of people together, especially women, you get a bunch of people together who have like different personalities and stuff like that. You have to navigate that, you know what I mean? And there's a certain way that you have to do it, I think, as an owner so that you don't upset people.
Oh, no.
So, and there's like some older women that come in there that are like clients of the others that, they're kind of adverse to change. So we changed it.
Just the change alone is enough.
Yeah. And I mean, everything is different. It looks different. There's more people in there. It's like younger people running it. So I think that's somewhat of a turnoff for the much older crowd. The shampoo bowls are new. So there was like a little bit of an adaptation to that. Like there was a couple people that kind of like got their clients wet. And this woman walked up to me while I was with the client. She said, "Why would you buy shampoo bowls that don't adjust?" And I was like, they do.
Because they were adorable, Susan.
I mean, they are beautiful. But I was just like, oh. And it like hit me at that moment, like, there's going to be critique.
There's
you need
some
to have,
frustration,
there'll be some critique. Like, you can't please everybody.
Oh, for sure.
You need to have thick skin and just take it with a grain of salt, approach it with grace, give people grace, because it's a lot of change for people. So,
Well, I think that would be very difficult to step into the role of being a manager and like, this is what we're doing. This is how Trish and I want it to run. But then also being open, because some of those critiques may be really, really positive. So it's got to be difficult to like still have thick skin, but then still be open to like, oh, your criticism is actually really helpful, and I'm going to take that into consideration, and I'm going to make a change with that. That would seem difficult to be able to do both.
I feel like that part's been fairly easy.
Has it?
But I think I have thick skin. You know what I mean? Like, it just hit me actually that I think the hardest part of it has been to let go a little bit of my own OCD, because I like things a very certain way. I like them clean. Obviously, not everybody put the same amount of work into renovating that I did, or the same amount of money into it that I did. Like, there's 13 other people that work there besides Trish and I. Trish and I know how much it cost to do all this. So it's like, when there's a shampoo bowl that has like color stain on it already, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to burn the place to the ground. Like, it makes me insane because I like things super clean and orderly. So I actually think letting go a little bit of that's probably been the hardest part for me, because I have to keep myself from like, just getting irrationally angry
There's always
it's gonna get dirty, right? Like we work there. It's like you live in a house, you live there, it gets dirty. So I know how much the flooring costs. Ideally, I would love to have no hair on the floor ever.
You work at a place that literally
There's hair everywhere.
gets hair on the floor.
There's hair everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's like I just want
Right.
it to be clean and pristine all the time and just like nothing on the floor, no stains anywhere. And that's not realistic. That actually has been the hardest part for me. I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit better about it because it's been like a month. The first week or so, I had a little bit of anxiety. It was like making it. It was kind of rough for me, but
Yeah, at a place that gets. I mean, there's if it's clean all the time, that means you're not doing anything,
Yeah.
right?
and I mean, there's like color. You're gonna drop color. I drop color. We're human.
There's gonna be some collateral damage.
Yeah, but I'm like,
I understand that. Well, I also you made the comment about working with a bunch of women. It's not that different working with a bunch of guys either. It's just those things just show themselves
Yeah.
with a little more aggression, maybe.
I could see that.
You know, but it's all still like bickering and
Yeah.
like whining and bitching.
See,
and
luckily,
moaning
there's
and,
none
like,
of that. Like the women that work with me, oh my gosh, like the best group of women. You know what I mean? And even if it's like something that needs complaining about, they're usually like, everybody's got tact. You know what I mean? So it just, I feel like it's flowing really well, honestly.
It's a huge help to have a good team.
It is. We have the
People
best team.
that work well together and
Yeah.
don't super bitch and moan.
We have the best team. And everybody's helpful. So it's like, you know, they go to leave and they're like, do you need me to do anything before I go? I'm like, I love you for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a team. And it's awesome. They're all independent, but they're a team. Like, we're a team. So
How
it's
many out of the 13 did you and Trisha work with before?
9.
That's
9
good.
came from the salon that I left.
Are they doing both or are they fully with you?
No, they quit. There's like 12 people that left that place since I left. But I'm the problem, so that's weird.
That's weird. Well, it always helps to have history too, right? I'm sure I didn't realize that you had taken over essentially a business with folks that had worked there before. So I
Yeah.
can imagine that would be incredibly difficult with that merging, because it's not like you're just a new owner with no history coming
Yeah.
along with you, but then it's almost like I think like it's like a clash of, you know, people if they don't.
And it's a clash of styles because, like I said, these women they've been doing it a long time. You know what I mean? They have a certain way that they do things. And it's like, you try to be careful to still like allow them that space where it's like, you can do things exactly like you want to do them.
Right.
But like, we also have this new space. So we're like conjoining the two. And, you know, the one woman that works there, she's been doing hair for like 53 years.
Wow.
So it's like,
She has to know a thing or two. Right?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
She's
like,
gotta-
I'm like, you
Yeah.
know,
Wait, so the other 4 are from
the salon that we bought.
the salon that you bought. Okay,
Mhm.
so they stayed on. Okay.
Yeah. But then it's like, you know, like the one woman was like, she was having a hard time, like, you know, with getting people wet with the new shampoo bowls because they were different than what they had before. And it was like, I want to help you so bad, but I don't even know how to navigate that. Like, I was like, you've been doing hair so much longer than me. Like, I don't want to be insulting to you. So it's like, do you want me to watch you wash somebody so I can kind of see like maybe where it might be happening? Is that awkward for you? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that
it's
kind
hard.
of thing. Like, I want to help you with this, but I don't know how to help you. And also still be like super respectful of the fact that like you've been doing this probably longer than I've been alive.
That's a
you know
really
what I mean?
difficult situation.
Yeah.
I've been in a situation like that with a guy. So I've done tree work
Yeah.
in the past quite a bit. And I had a time where this guy was a supervisor, you know, old school guy. I mean, he was probably in his 50s and been doing tree work for 30 years. And we're out there just chopping. We're like, look, we need to do this. And he's like, I don't understand why you need all these gadgets and tools, this, that, whatever. He's like, we never had this stuff,
You need your
blah,
bare
blah,
hands.
whatever. I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? Like, they also didn't used to use chainsaws to cut trees down. Like, give us let us show you what we're talking about. So we rigged up this newer equipment and, you know, showed him what we were doing and used it. And he's just like, oh, he's like, man, I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Yeah.
And he's been, you know, in the industry for so long because sometimes it's either not always stuck in their ways, but if they've never been exposed to something different, it's like, all right, we all need a little bit of adjustment period, whether
Yeah.
we're learning something new, whether it's something new in our own industry after 30 years or 50 years, or something new for the very first time. Like
Yeah.
something new is always just something new. And that can be scary, especially if like, I've even done it now where it's like something new in a field that I know, it still kind of feels scary because it's like, well, I know what I'm doing. But then
But
you
do
get,
I?
But yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. There's always something to
Yeah.
learn, right?
There's like, we got this like central booking system like on our computer. So now,
Oh, technology. Yeah, that's
Yes.
always a fun one. Huh?
okay, so everything is booked on the computer. You can adjust like your service duration time, add the services, all the things through this computer system. And that was a hard thing too. But I think it kind of helped that like previously I was always old school and did paper and pencil book. So I'm like, I understand the frustration. I'm
Yeah.
also transitioning to this. I'm not very good with computers. Like I'm learning at the same time. I do understand how you feel, like genuinely am going through it with you. And I almost was like, I kind of want to just keep doing my pencil and paper thing. And then I was like, I can't expect everybody
Right.
to adapt to this change and myself not embrace it also. So like I didn't start transferring my appointments over until like the week before we started. And Trisha's like, bro, like you might want to start like playing around with it, like get used to it. And I was like, yeah.
Well, technology is
So-
always a hard one too, because every once in a while it just doesn't work for no discernible
And
reason.
that's-
And then
yep.
it's like try to explain that to
Yes.
especially the folks that have been in that haven't used technology in certain fields, because
Yep.
that's what I'm planning. It's like they're like, what's wrong? I can't figure it out. And you're like,
Me neither.
yeah, this time it's just broke. It doesn't work. So it's like, how do you explain that
Yeah.
to somebody that like is so already irritated using
Yeah.
something? And you're like, yeah, this time it's not you
Yeah.
like usual.
Yeah.
It's just
And
I
there's
don't
a
know
lot
either.
of that.
Yeah. all
Like
the time.
working out those kinks. We have like a, stereo system too. And that's taken some kinks to work out because they just had the radio before. It was staticky. I was like, I can't listen to the static. So, then we got a cord and an old iPad and like hooked it up. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like figuring things out like that kind of as we go.
Got to.
We're
That's what
making
makes
it work though.
That's what makes it an adventure. Right?
Yeah. It has been an adventure.
Okay, wait. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. What is like, you guys have to hear the craziest fucking stories ever.
Yeah.
What are some, the first
could've-
time I came to you, God, that was probably, Kyrie was like 2. I remember, like, I didn't know you. I just came to you because I needed something done to my hair, like, the next day. And you had an opening and my girlfriend went to you. And you were still, like, laughing your ass off about something as I'm sitting in your chair. And you decided to tell me that the lady before me was, I don't know, she was like young 20s or something. And she came to you to fix her box color that she did. And she told you with a straight face that she thought it was a really good box dye, even though it was like $12 because it came with official black gloves.
I forgot about
And-
that, but yeah.
And every time you started,
Well, I
like,
had black gloves.
so we laughed, and then like 5 minutes in, you just started laughing again. You were like, fucking black gloves. Like,
That's all it takes for it to be professional.
so I can only imagine that's here. I can only imagine the stories.
I said that once things like calmed down, I used to tell one of my old friends that I was going to make like a coffee table book
Oh, that would
Yes.
be good.
and make it like fancy. Like I want it to be like white marble on the outside so that it looks like the most just elegant, and then inside just
Just have quotes.
all the shit that people have told me. Obviously, all of it will be anonymous because I would never like,
Right.
Oh, for sure.
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like blow anybody's secrets or anything like that. Like taking it to the grave. But people tell me
I could only
all the things.
I
got
could
you,
only imagine
right?
some of the shit's like I wish like at least in my I know I'd be thinking like if you could stop talking now, please. I don't want to hear this.
I just
need
let
to-
people talk.
Yeah.
I just thinking it because I would just be I can only imagine some of the things people would be willing to
Everything.
I'm not on TikTok, but on Instagram, I'm mature. I wait for the TikTok videos to make their way to Instagram 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And some of the
Same.
funniest ones
Same.
are hairdressers or like bartenders. Then they like reenact like what they just experienced. It is mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just want a really good story.
I just want to really
What's a really good one that you've
Okay.
experienced?
Okay, one of my favorite ones, and this is anonymous. And I don't think this woman has social media anyway, so it doesn't matter. But one of my great clients, I love her so much. She was married to a man. He passed away. They never had kids. So she does very well for herself, right? Like he left her, they do well. And he passed away several years later. She started dating this man who's actually 20 years younger than her.
Good for her.
So
She's doing real good for herself.
I know, that's right. So I'm doing her hair one day and I was like, oh, like, you know, what are you doing the rest of the day? And she's like, oh, it's my boyfriend's birthday and he's turning 50. And I was like, that's exciting. Like, happy birthday to him. Do you have something like fun planned for him? And she said, yes. I am going to she's like, I withdrew 50 grand from the bank and I'm going to spread it on the bed and fuck him on it. And I was like,
Oh, man. You got her number still?
Does she want a married man
Yeah.
for 50 grand?
I
I'd pimp
literally,
him out.
like, my face, I was like,
You know how to have a
And
good
she's
goddamn
70?
time.
God
yeah.
damn, no wonder her
Let's
husband
have
left her
a
so
good
much money.
time.
yeah.
Good for her.
That's what I said.
That's
And I was like,
Good for him.
Yeah.
he's about to have a great birthday.
That's-
But I was just like, you would, like, this woman is.
Straight face and everything. Just-
Yep. And she is like,
That's
she's
the
clean cut
greatest
looking. She
thing.
has beautiful hair.
No.
But I mean, like, she's well dressed. She dresses professional. Like, she is put together. So
Hey, I ain't kink shaming over here.
I'm not
Yeah.
mad at her, but
Yeah,
I literally
know,
was
yeah.
like,
That's awesome.
Did not expect
Yeah.
that.
and then I was like, is it like get to keep the money afterwards?
Right.
Oh,
or,
you have to-
or whatever he can like pick up in his creases or
And
something.
are you paying with cash or check today?
Yeah. I just
Like,
yeah.
she's so awesome though. She's like still dating the dude, obviously.
That's
like they're
awesome.
great. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
and
He's
she's
still
you know,
around.
she's like, yeah, like we want to live in separate houses. Like I don't want to like live with him or whatever. Like she just
Yeah.
like
She's
does
got
certain
it
things. She
figured
gets
out.
her hair. Yeah, like she's such a. I was like, I want to be like you whenever I grow
That's
up.
so
Like
awesome.
That's
That,
awesome.
that reminds me of a story that someone told us that we know was speaking to an older lady that had she was like what 76 I think or 72 70
Early 70s. I
early
think.
70s probably somewhere around there and had an STD and they're like well like you know like all right this you know asking the questions or whatever and like well you know just got caught up in the wrong crowd and
a crowd,
The wrong
yeah, I was
not
like,
the
God damn
wrong
it.
woman, a wrong crowd.
Yeah, the wrong crowd. I was like, you know what? If I make it to 72, I hope I get caught up in the wrong crowd too. yeah.
She
I
was
like,
spunky and
like,
she.
hell yeah.
Yep.
If there's ever a time to get an STD, I feel like it's when you're 72.
Yeah. I mean,
Because at that point,
at that
like,
Yeah,
point,
like,
why
what-
the fuck
oh, well,
not?
yeah.
Yeah. I hope that wrong crowd was real good while it happened.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
It's probably still happening.
Oh, for sure.
There is actually studies that say that the highest statistic of like STDs is found in nursing homes.
Oh,
Have you ever seen that?
nursing
Yeah,
homes?
nursing homes.
Ooh, like is this like assisted living or like nursing homes? Because nursing homes, I have a concern that there might be.
Probably assisted. Yeah.
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 I probably said the wrong
Yeah.
word.
They're still
Is-
able to
yeah,
like
is
go
there like
to
a-
their.
They're like nurses like walking
Their
around.
apartment.
No,
they
it's
have
like
some weird-
amongst residents. I should have
Hey,
specified.
at that
Yeah.
point,
Okay.
why not?
amongst all the
Residents.
residents.
Although, you know, back to the kid education part, I just listened to a podcast and the education is just not there. Teens are like not like now, they're not aware of like the difference between like H1 and H2 herpes. So they don't understand that like oral can actually give like an STI if you have a cold sore. And so like the amount of positives has like blown up because they're just like
I didn't
not
have sex.
educating appropriately.
I can
Yeah,
see
because they're like, well, I can't get pregnant, so therefore I can't get an STD.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
that is
no.
false, and that shit stays with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, even if it's a cold sore, because they're not teaching
know.
these. Yeah. So
Well, there's like
We
grown
got
adults that do
teens-
know and still don't care because all they
Also
care about
true.
is like,
busting a nut.
yeah, like disgusting. People my age, like,
Yeah, we're old enough to know.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
And like, if you
Yeah,
don't-
or no better at least.
yeah.
right.
So we got the
People don't
teens,
care though.
and we
They're-
got the guys and gals in the assisted living. You know?
no in between. We're
Yeah.
safe.
We're
As
good.
the middle agers, we're
We're
safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or probably tent cities. That's probably also a pretty rough place.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
That's
I didn't
probably
think about
probably
that.
more needles though. Probably more drug use than
Yeah.
close tie to.
That's like bloodborne pathogen sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful with that stuff.
Wow, way to bring the mood down,
sorry.
babe. Jesus.
Sorry.
Damn.
Oh, and teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers,
with-
STDs,
Yeah,
and all that.
STDs,
Is
that's
Hey,
so much
we're,
fun.
We
Oh,
already
you know what?
established that we're fine in the middle age.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
That's so great. Well, change the subject. I will say, Courtney, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. You probably have had the biggest glow up in real life with a person that I've ever met.
I appreciate
From
that.
when I first met you in Orville, Carter was probably like 2, because Carter was probably 2.5,
Yeah.
something like that, to where you are now, like huge, biggest glow up I probably have
It's
experienced.
a little different. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still I run into people that I haven't seen in even just like a few years, and like they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean,
funny.
your hair was really short and it was dark.
I used to color my hair black.
I was
pretty
emo. Dark.
I still have
emo.
I was. I
Wait,
colored my hair black with box color
you're
in
aging
like
yourself
10th
there.
grade. Yeah. I
Is
still have
Is
emo.
emo still a thing?
I mean, I think so. I still have some emo
Probably.
tendencies. Like
Yeah.
when I lift and stuff, I love to listen to like just angry shit.
Yeah.
And my ears are still gauged out. Like I still have a little bit of tendencies, but
That's
yeah.
all right. I feel like that just adds a little edge now.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know?
Your little edge is okay.
Yeah. But you had, I think, real dark, spiky, short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super short.
Yeah. I thought about that this morning. I was like, God, there's been time. I don't know, when you've had like before and after pictures, like, holy shit, I forgot that was even her. Because, it's been gradual and it's been, you've looked like this for, God, I don't know, years. But I don't know, the last time you shared a before and after, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's been some time. I mean, it took me, I think altogether, I probably lost I think it was 110, 115 pounds or something like that. And I've gained a little bit since then, because that was it took me probably 2.5 years to lose it, because I did it low and slow,
the correct way.
The correct way.
Yeah.
The hard
Well, good for
way.
you.
The
Yeah.
hard ass way. No supplements,
The work,
not
yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's the only way it stays.
Yeah. And I mean, it's still I feel like I thickened up a little bit. I did a ton of cardio to lose, to lose the weight. I fucking hate running. I hate it so much. And now I'm not doing it, because now I want to build muscle. So I probably gained probably 25 pounds back, but I've been losing weight again recently. I'm starting to notice it. I don't weigh myself. I can't connect to a number. I'll obsess about
That's
it.
the-
So
You
I just
can't.
go by how I look naked and how my jeans fit.
That's
but
that's the biggest
That's the
key. We've
best.
talked about it so many times where it's not a lot of times it's about weight loss, and it shouldn't be about weight loss.
yeah,
It should be about how can I get healthier,
yeah,
and how can I now, because I used to be real into powerlifting and doing different stages of lifting and whatever, and now people are what are you shooting for? What are you trying? What do you do in the gym? This, that. I'm I'm just trying to keep on looking good naked.
yeah. Same.
That's the only
I
goal.
just want to feel good in my
You know,
skin.
I want to feel good. I want to be able to move. As I get older, I don't
Yeah.
want to fall and break a hip.
yeah, same.
Those kind of things.
Yeah.
So if you do those, and worry about how you feel physically, and how you feel about yourself, and how you look in the mirror and go, all right, yeah, I like what I'm doing here.
yeah,
That's what it's about, because this scale, it's so deceiving, especially all right, if the typical idea of someone wants to lose weight, right? Well, they don't really necessarily want to lose weight. What they want to do is they want to look better.
yeah,
And they think by losing weight, that's going to get them to where they want. But sometimes losing weight isn't the key. Sometimes you need to maybe build a little bit of muscle, and losing fat and changing your body composition isn't about cardio and all those different things. It's about the balance
Yeah.
of what your bodies and its mechanics are doing. So weightlifting, you're going to quote unquote lose weight much faster than you would doing cardio.
yeah.
Obviously you're probably going to gain a little weight because you're going to gain muscle first, but it
It's
takes
still
muscle
better.
eats. Yeah. The more muscle you have, the more your body takes energy
Yeah,
to run. So it's just, you don't have to do cardio.
yeah.
There you go. You don't have to run.
I think for me, it went
Just
deeper. It went a little deeper than even just the physical portion of it. I started losing weight, a lot of weight right as I split from my ex-husband too. So it was dealing with not just the physical portion of me and wanting to make changes that way, but also the emotional aspect, getting a grip on where I was mentally, making sure that I was making efforts to kind of break generational traumas so that I didn't pass them on to my son. It was a whole thing. So I think obviously the physical part helped me, but I think the mental part helped me more. And people, when your mental is right, people see that on the outside.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like your face looks different. You carry yourself differently. So it was like the physical part was obviously a large part of it, and that's more like what people see. But it was a lot more than that too. You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah. Well, I think just being active in general, like getting like being physically active,
Yeah.
is you get the physical benefits from it. But
Absolutely.
a lot of times people don't realize if they've never been like super physically active or it's been a while, and then you get back into it and you do something physical, even if it's taking a nice walk, like on a nice day afterwards, like your hormone levels, everything. It's just
You
so
feel
much.
better.
It's so beneficial
You
for
feel
you,
better.
you know, emotionally,
Yeah.
mentally, all those things.
Yeah.
Like it just, and it compounds
Mhm.
both ways. If you sit on the couch and never do anything and eat junk food all day long, versus if you're out being active and you can still enjoy junk food and do all those different things. You can still, you know, enjoy cake and going to barbecues, but like just being active does so much for your mental
Yeah, it
health
does.
and
Your meal preps always looked really good too.
Yeah.
You were sharing. I stole a couple of your recipes that you put on. I was like, oh, that was like fast, and it looked.
I really like learned to enjoy cooking. Like whenever I like first started doing all of that, and I
I
just
feel like
moved.
you have to, because if
You
not,
have to.
I just shove the same shit in my mouth.
Yeah, you
just
get
because
bored.
like I get bored. I don't want to
Yeah.
waste time cooking.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But I was like, oh, hers actually looks really good.
Yeah, and I just moved like 2 weeks ago. Like moved my house. I did all
So
the.
you're doing all the things.
I did
at
all
the
the
same
things
time,
at
right?
once. It's just like a whole new beginning, like in my whole life, like professionally, personally, relationally. Like it's just been a whole bunch of newness. But I'm like here for it, and I have this like new gorgeous kitchen. So I feel like now I've been like,
And you have to use it.
yes, I've been
Yeah.
like starting to cook a lot more too. The place that I was at before, my kitchen had flooded like in January, and my landlord left it for like 3 months.
Oh,
I had
jeez.
nothing. I had like studs in my kitchen
Whoa.
and a floating stove. Like, so I literally barely cooked for like months. And I was like telling Carter, like, I feel like crap. Like, we're eating out too much. It's like I wasn't eating the same way that I normally ate. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We normally eat like fairly clean. Obviously, you have moments, but
Yeah.
I was not eating the same way. And I feel like now I'm kind of back in a routine of like, you know, fixing proper food, making sure that he has proper food to eat, and just eating like more lean instead of eating out. I ate out so much over
Well,
like,
even when you eat clean, but you eat out, there's so much more oils and
Yeah, you don't
just
know what they
fats
put in it.
hidden
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Like it's there.
yeah,
And that's why it tastes so good, right?
yeah.
But you don't need, like when you cook at home and you can
Control that.
Control that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be
And you-
nearly as much.
And you can balance it for your taste. Obviously, you know, I think I always said it's like taking baby steps. Like if you're trying to change your diet, like you don't have to like go cold turkey on everything. Like just slowly change to make better options.
Yeah.
But you don't realize too, like once you start really digging into like just fast food and like it's almost a lot of those places, it's not even real food.
And you can taste the weirdness. Like
Yeah.
if you go a period of time without eating it, and then you get like McDonald's fries, you're like, this doesn't even
tastes
taste like a
fine.
potato.
Yeah.
Like
Now,
what is this?
yeah, I will. We'll go to like Chipotle. Like that's our try to like if we have to get like fast food or something like that. It's like all right, well Chipotle, like we can, you know, at least we know most of the foods. We can like see them cook it.
Yeah.
So like that's how like it's kind of real food. But if I eat like a McDonald's or something like that now, I just feel like a fucking turd for
Yeah.
like 3 hours.
I do love a crispy chicken BLT from Wendy's though.
I used to love their crispy chickens. I can't eat those anymore either.
Their Frosties are delicious.
See, I can't
I'm
do
limited to
dairy like
Frosties
that.
and French fries
Oh,
because
too dairy.
of the
I
gluten.
like when I
but-
lost all that weight, I really didn't eat a lot of dairy because it's actually not good for you. Like it really like will up your caloric intake like no other. So I just kind of naturally cut it out. And then once I started like trying to have it again, my body was like, yeah, bet you not gonna.
You probably had some weird intolerance, and once you remove it,
I do.
when you add it back in, it can be so much
Yeah.
worse.
I've
I used to
never-
drink gallons of 2% milk. Like when I was married, Cody and I went through like 3 gallons of 2% milk a week. Just the
That's a lot
two
of
of
milk.
us. That's a lot of milk.
That's like
a
my
lot of milk.
sister.
Yeah.
And now, like, I couldn't tell you the last time I drank milk or anything.
I'll drink like a half a gallon a week, probably.
yeah.
But
no,
like
I can't.
I like cheese. Like I love
cheese.
like I don't have any. I've never had any issues with like animal products
See,
whatsoever. Like my
even
body,
cheese-
I feel great.
But I'll eat cheese because, like, you know, risk and reward, baby.
That's
I mean
pie.
cheese.
I'm like, is that enough cheese? It's never enough cheese,
No, yeah,
Mom.
keep going.
Like, she
Yeah.
just wants
She
it
loves it.
all.
It's so good.
But Swiss, she doesn't like Swiss. I tried to give her a
Yeah,
piece of
some
your
of
Swiss
those.
the other day. Not doing
I
it.
like some good cheese. Well, I think we've talked about it too before. I think part of it is, or at least this is my hypothesis, is like just genetics. Like the areas of the world like your ancestors came from, where, if you live in like like northern Canada area, or like like Greenland or like Scotland, like those areas don't have a lot, like their crops aren't fantastic. They don't have a lot of warm weather. So like, but cows and shit can survive. So like
Yeah.
you live off of a lot more of like animal products.
Yeah.
But other places, like someone has a glass of milk and they're just down for the count for a day because
Yeah.
their body just can't handle it. And it's like,
Well, I feel like I live in Wayne County. I should be able to drink milk, but it's not the case.
yeah, but I think it's more ancestral is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there's like part of like just genes of people, like you, because even her brother, her older brother, he's lactose intolerant basically, like, but he'll still eat ice cream cakes every once in a while. He's like, oh, this is gonna be so bad.
Yeah.
But like,
He was like, I brought my lactose pills with me.
Yeah,
I'll be
sometimes
fine.
you have to. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to.
But it's me, it's like, give me beef jerky and string cheese. I'm good.
I
I'll
would
last
eat
for
that.
days.
Yeah, I would eat
days.
that too.
That's like, yeah.
Carter and I love to have like charcuterie board dinner nights where I just like will literally cover like a wood slab with like meats and cheeses and crackers and fruits and vegetables. That's like our favorite. Like I love it. I don't have to cook. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or clean up. Like it's just so.
Yeah, it's an easy cleaner. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
we
have to
love
have
doing
those.
stuff like that.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have my watch on how long.
It is 12:30.
Oh wow.
Time
I don't know if
flies
you have a
when you're
time
having
limit or anything like that. I don't know
No.
if you. Okay. Well, so now that you have the shop set up and you're up and running, have you ever thought about? Because this is a question a lot of times. Like you have the people that open up a business and they're kind of I'm trying to think how to phrase it correctly. Like they want just the one location, kind of small operation, kind of balance it out for forever,
Mhm.
and just kind of be comfortable. Not comfortable. Maybe that's not necessarily the word I want either. But then you have like some people just love running businesses. Some people love, maybe that's what it is. Some people just love the idea of opening and running businesses, and other people love the craft. Obviously you love the craft. That's what
Mhm.
got you into it. But have you, now opening up this location, have you thought about like, oh, maybe like this might be something that I would enjoy doing is expanding like your business model?
Yeah.
And
We actually already have that figured out because
I already got into it.
yeah, we're set right now to lease the building that we're in for 3 years or less. I want it to be less now, but now that we're like into it, but we're leasing the building that we're in for 3 years, and then at the end of the 3-year lease, we're purchasing the entire property. So that is that building right there and the building behind it.
Oh, nice.
So there's a building behind the salon. It's 832 square feet of office space, and once we take it over, we're turning it into a spa.
Ooh.
So we'll have the spa in the back and the salon in the front, and we'll probably take on massage therapy at that time. And I don't know if like the facial room stuff will go to that part of the building. And then once that is done, like I'm thinking in probably 5 years, we've talked about trying to open a second location. And I think we would look at either North Canton or Medina at that time.
So you're expanding. That's the goal.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're
We're just going to keep on going. That way that, I mean, at some point, like Trish and I won't want to stand behind a chair, right? Like I'll want to retire. So the goal is to set it up now so that whenever I retire, I can still run my business from the administrative end. I'll be able to like keep my mind sharp. I'm good at numbers and stuff like that. So I'll be able to run the business from the administrative end and not have to stand behind the chair. And I'll be able to have a couple locations to pay for my home in Italy and my hot
you
pool
go.
boy that I'm going to have.
Foster the next generation.
Yeah.
Pool
I'm
boy.
trying to be able to spread 50 grand on a bed one day. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm here for it. That's a nice goal to have, right?
So yeah, we definitely have plans to like grow. I think at this point where we're at now, we can't for now, which we're only a month in, so like I probably should chill a little bit. You don't want to like, you don't want it to burn out too fast or whatever.
Right.
But
It's nice to have goals.
yeah,
right?
we've had several people, like other stylists from other salons, approach us like, we want to join your team. And it's like, we really can't take on anybody else right now. We're at capacity for the amount of space that we have.
Right.
So,
Need more space.
right. Literally, like the week that we opened, I was like, can we knock out this wall, Trisha? And she was like, Courtney. So, yeah, we'll definitely expand at some point. We already have ideas for it. We already have a plan for it. So it will definitely happen. It's just, first things first.
Right.
We're like,
gotta
the woman's not
take
even
it in
off
strides.
maternity leave. She had my nephew a couple weeks ago. So, she's got to get back from maternity leave. And then I'm taking a vacation. And then after that, then we'll talk about expanding.
Right.
So, yeah,
Enjoy the moment and then get back to it.
it's been really beautiful.
That's awesome. I think it would be really cool. Have you ever done one of those float, like the isolation tanks, like the salt baths? We've talked about like if
Worcester needs one.
Worcester needs
for
one, and
sure.
we're like she said that we should open up one. But just the thought of running a business like that, I don't know if I want to do something like that. But they're really,
Well,
really
you
neat.
need a full-time job anyway, bro. So I could do it.
Yeah. But I think that'd be
So
a
salt
really
bath should
that-
be in the spa.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Okay.
a really neat. So then, like, what usually I think it was like an hour. But have you ever heard about the
No.
So it's basically they call them pods. But it's a salt bath that's body temperature. So what happens is you lie in it, and the salt content's so high that you float without any.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks dope.
It's full of Epsom salt.
Yeah. So then you close the lid. The
I
water
don't like
gets
that.
super still, and it's an
You don't have to.
isolation.
You can leave
tank.
it open
You can
Okay.
leave it open if you
at
want.
any,
But they basically like earplugs. So like the water doesn't get in your ears.
Okay.
And it's completely dead silent, and you're floating on top of the water. So you're not touching anything. So
That sounds
there's like
You
zero.
can
it's a-
have
amazing.
the lights, or you can have. They had options for music.
They
We just
did.
both, and we were in our own separate areas. Like he was in his own room, and I was in mine. There's a shower there, so you shower before you get in. They bring you back like 10 minutes, 50 minutes in. They start light music to kind of like ease you back into like your consciousness, depending on where you went for your 50 minutes. Dude, it's fucking
yeah, it's
cool.
it's really awesome.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, because it's incredibly relaxing, but it's also for the mind as well. Which I could totally understand some people freaking out because they say like, look, if it's like your first time, like sometimes it takes a while for people to like kind of let their mind kind of shut off and just kind
Things
of
like that take me a while too, because there's so many moving parts. It would take me a minute.
Yeah.
was like meditation. It's really hard
Yeah.
for someone to sit down for
yeah,
10 minutes.
and think about nothing.
I have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Even whenever I'm praying, I literally will like scroll, then I'm like, sorry, God,
Yeah.
I'm back. Because I literally will
Well,
just
that's
like
really normal too.
veer off.
Like, and it's just like that's a muscle that you have to like,
work on.
work to bring.
Yeah.
And that's what.
I wonder
this
what
is
one of those
so-
costs.
There,
I looked it up what it is.
Yeah, so
to
there's different tiers,
franchise
obviously.
it's super cool.
But like I think like one of those like that you would have in like a spa type setting, they're probably looking at I think like 15 to 20 grand a piece. I think it was right. It's probably even more expensive now because those
Yeah.
prices were probably pre-COVID. But it was something like you're looking like a 20 grand a piece if you want it. But it'd be really neat to like do that, and then because you have to wash your hair right after anyways.
Mhm.
So like you do the float and then you get your hair done because also they say after you come out of the float, like you should just kind of sit, like you can be careful, like getting right in your car and driving and doing those things because it's almost like if you get like a really like massage, a really long massage, and like
Yeah.
if you're like your eyes get blurry and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's not quite like that, but they say like, hey, just relax. Like, so they have the one
Takes
place we
you
went
minutes
to
to
had like
acclimate.
yeah, they had like an oxygen bar. You can come out and like sit and like just breathe oxygen. They have like flavored
Sounds
oxygen.
nice. Flavored oxygen.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
or scented, I guess.
Like the
Like
just
chloroform.
yeah,
Exactly
It
right.
smell like chloroform.
yeah. But that would be.
Well,
really
it
neat.
was complimentary, so
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true. I don't remember much after that.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, but they're it's really neat. It's something we've talked like it'd be really cool to have something like that around here because it's incredibly relaxing.
Did you ever do like a salt grotto?
I haven't. So my mom was like, "Is it like the salt grotto?"
That's
and
my
I was
question.
like, "It's not, because you're actually like submerged in this like bath, obviously." But I haven't.
I went to a salt grotto one time and I did not like how I feel afterwards. I was like, and I don't know if this is a normal response to it or if my response was atypical, but I felt short of breath. And then, like, when leaving the salt grotto, I felt very short of breath. Like, the salt had just sucked all the air out of my lungs. I felt like I couldn't get a full breath. And then after about 30 minutes of that not going away, then I was getting anxiety because of it. So I wasn't able to calm down until probably like an hour after I went and got food with my friend and drank a beer because I was like, I feel weird. Like, I feel weird. And then I was fine after that. But
I've never. What is a salt grotto? Like
just like that. The floor is salt. There's like Himalayan salt on the walls. It's supposed to be like, I'm not really sure what the benefits are. It's supposed to be purifying and takes toxins out of your skin. And literally everything in there is salt. And same thing, you just like sit in these chairs and you relax. And there's like soft music playing. It was just me and my friend in the salt cave.
Is
and
it warm? Like, is it like
it's like normal temperature.
just normal temperature?
Yeah, it wasn't,
so it's not like a sauna? Like,
Nope, it wasn't warm. It was just normal temperature, and you just sit in there and breathe. And I was like, digging my feet like in the salt that was like on the floor. It felt kind of cool. It wasn't until
How long did you sit in there for?
I want to say it was like 30 minutes, like 30 minutes to an hour. It wasn't any longer than that. And I feel like it was closer to 30 minutes. This was like maybe four or 5 years ago. So it's been a little bit of time, but
I've never heard of one of those.
I remember being so short of breath whenever I left. And I wonder if maybe it wouldn't though, because like I don't feel that way at the ocean, like saltwater ocean. So maybe it wouldn't be that way, but it's,
Well,
to
they
each
did
their own,
warn
but I don't
you.
think I would ever do it again. The salt grotto, I don't think I would ever do it again.
They do warn you, like, we had to sit and, like, since it was our first time, we had to watch, like, a 10-minute video. Like, basically, shower, make sure, like, all the things not to do. Like, if you're on your period, you can't do it. Like, you have to reschedule, all those things. But they did say, like, if you get nauseous, if you get, some people get, like, anxiety because of the potential claustrophobia or, it's like deprives you of everything else if you turn, if you don't have the lights and stuff on. So then you're like, all you can do is like hear yourself breathing.
Yeah.
And because you have in the earplugs, so you
I
don't
think
get
I'd like the
water.
lights, but if it was dark in there, I think I would feel uneasy maybe.
It's an experience.
It was
Yeah.
really cool though.
Yeah.
But they say if you go like multiple times, it takes multiple times to really
Get the benefit.
help with
Where'd you do
like,
it at?
pain. We went to Rocky Ridge. It was like Cleveland.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like west of Cleveland. Yeah, so it
But
was.
it's like a bunch of things that it helps with that it said like it can be prescribed for like PTSD, depression, anxiety, like specific joint pain, like
Because
you
it takes
take an
all
Epsom
the
salt, like the muscle
resistance off of the body.
Yeah, so then you're just float like it was so
Sounds
cool.
amazing.
I
It's
did
really
put the little pillow on my head. I felt like I was constantly like trying to lift my head up, so I did put the pillow on my like they give you a little float pillow, so then I could really like relax because I felt like I intentionally was trying to lift my.
You're like
head
having
up.
tension in your body a
Yeah.
little bit still.
It was
because you
trying
think
to,
you're
like-
gonna fall in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They
pretty
give you a
wild.
bunch of different like ways that you can put your hands, like whatever's most like comfortable.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It is a really neat experience. I would do it. I would pursue it more often if it was like somewhere close. But,
If it was readily
yeah.
available.
especially for like someone that has like a lot of tension
Yeah.
or like really really busy, like that's just always running or like just an hour out of like once a week to just go and have everything
Decompress.
everything shut off.
I was kind of wondering, like I was thinking about like what other services we would offer in a spa aside from like massage therapy.
Right.
I like that idea.
It's
And if it's something that's not around here, people will.
Yeah, I think the closest.
People
you're looking
try.
at least 40 minutes, 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
anything close. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's an idea.
Okay.
And then you're like I said, you have to wash your hair when you get out because it's just salt water.
See, I'd have to wear a cap because I'm not trying to wash my hair every day. It's so much work.
Yeah.
Well, that was like we were going out afterwards, and I was like, well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wet.
Like how am I going to do this? And so he ended up, so you can shower in your own room where the pot is, but then to like blow dry your hair, to have a mirror to like fix all your shit, that's like a community area, which I was kind of weird about, but there was nobody in there. So like it was fine. I didn't mind. I used their blow dryer that was like super fast and a lot better than mine. And then we went to the hotel and then I finished like getting ready so we could go out, but
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would have to try it before I like
Yeah.
took it on in my own business. I'd have to like experience it.
I did a buy one get one free, so and I paid like $100. So we both did it. So you and Trisha could go do it
Yeah.
and see. It's
I'll tell
pretty-
her.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We'll have to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rocky Ridge, I think, was the closest. There's one in Strongsville, maybe. I think.
maybe there might be one.
There's one in
somewhere around
Columbus.
there. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
True
Salt Pool.
True Float, I think.
Yeah, True
Salt.
Float's the company the place
True
that we
Float.
went to. But there's like
Okay.
if you look up like
True Rest Float.
True Rest Float Therapy. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's the company. But I would imagine there's probably got to be other companies.
Yeah, I'm
that
sure
are
that there are other ones who take on
around it.
this. But it's just like how many pounds of Epsom salt? I don't even know. And then when you
it's
get
like
out,
It's like
it,
over 1,000. It's like 1,500 pounds or something like that.
it starts like regenerate. Like as I was taking a shower, it like starts like self cleaning itself. It's pretty cool.
That was like the other thing I was thinking. Like, how do you clean that out? Like,
Yeah, it's like-
and
it's-
how
it's
often do you have to
essentially-
do it in between each person?
Yeah,
'Cause
they
that would-
do.
That
Yeah.
would be.
It's
And
essentially
it
like a big,
starts-
kind of like a hot tub, like a specific hot tub made for salt.
It's very fancy.
Yeah, and then after each one, it cycles and cleans, and then
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
He's always talked about wanting to do like a deprivation tank. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I don't know what I even bought it for you for. Maybe
Oh,
I
it was
just
my birthday or
got
something.
yeah
Oh,
something.
wow.
It was pretty cool, something different.
yeah,
for
there's
sure.
definitely something to experience, and honestly, and I think there would be a lot of health benefits to it if
You did it
super stressed
routinely.
or if you
People
if you're
need
able,
that.
Yeah.
something, and everyone finds something a little different to help them, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's therapy or physical therapy, or,
Yeah.
hobbies, yeah, medicines, natural or non,
Right.
yeah, there's just always something out there I think everyone has a little bit of a different area where they find their therapy or their drip,
Oh, I have a question. Do you guys do waxing?
Like body waxing?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going on
It's-
vacation. I
I
just
was like,
Oh.
that was a very
last
specific.
time it was like 45-minute drive, and then I just don't want to do that. Okay.
Yeah. Michelle does body waxing.
Oh, good. I don't know a Michelle, so
I don't know.
I feel like it has to be something I'm
Even
really
if you
close
did.
with, or someone that I don't know. I feel like that weird like acquaintance. Like I would let you wax me, but if it was like somebody that
I
I'm
think
like,
I could do it.
I've met, I don't know. I feel like
I got waxed for like 5 years. I've never waxed anybody, but I've got waxed, so I know what to do. So
Yeah.
oh, you mean like
It's
you
a-
could do it? Like you think you have the skill to do it?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
like I think like emotionally I could do it.
oh,
You know what?
it'd have to be something real weird for me to be like
Uh-huh.
emotional. I don't get weird about things.
I don't know if I want to be your first, Courtney.
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay, maybe I do.
Yes, you do.
She talked me into it so fast.
That was hard.
Well, yeah.
I was like,
Well,
yes,
yeah,
you do.
that was real quick.
You
yeah.
just smiled so,
So
pretty. My walls
That was
clearly-
easy.
It obviously didn't take much.
My walls
at all.
clearly aren't as high as I thought they were.
Tell you what you need.
I'll do a shot of tequila. I'll come in. You can do a shot of tequila.
We want to get our D1 liquor license so that we can serve people while we serve. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I have
mimosas
friends
are
who they
sipping
drink-
whiskey for guys.
Yeah, they drink
Well, if you're gonna go-
mimosas when they go get their hair done.
Yeah.
That makes sense, like because especially as if you're a lady or a man with long hair, if you're dyeing it, doing all the things, like what? I mean, people are there for what, an hour, 2 hours sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, women,
3, 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes color services are like super long. So I think you can technically serve people. You just can't sell it.
Oh.
So
But-
what happens
so
if
I'm
a bridal
like-
party wants to come in? Could they bring in their own
Yeah.
like mimosa stuff and
Yeah.
legally drink it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's at least an option.
Yeah. But I feel like it'd be such an easy, I mean, if you can come in and you have 2 hours for your color, you can get a $5 mimosa. Like, are you going to do it? I would.
For sure.
I probably have a couple.
Well, Max,
You know what I
the
mean?
barber, I don't know if he must not charge for the bourbon, but he has a whole
Yeah, he's got
bourbon,
bourbon.
Yeah.
wall, and like he said, like it's great. Like people love it.
Yeah.
People will bring in random stuff for him, like give him a bottle for clients just
Yeah.
to. So maybe he doesn't charge for it. I guess I never
I
really
think
thought about
because
that.
he has people that
It's just, like,
bring stuff
kinda-
in, and
Yeah, like that's
Yeah, that was something that was written into our professional business plan from the get-go, but it just hasn't happened yet.
when you buy one
handling what we
mimosa,
can.
you're gonna buy a second.
I know.
You know,
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're being waxed for the first time by your friend. You're going to be like, you know what? Let's sit here and have a mimosa first.
Get comfortable.
Let's make all this warm and numb. And
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I've only done it once, and it hurt more than I anticipated. A Brazilian, it hurt more than I expected.
I mean, you're ripping hair out of your parts.
It sounds like
Yeah.
that would hurt just as much as I would expect it to.
I think I'm used to it.
But like some sections hurt worse than others that I
That's
didn't
true, and it
expect
wouldn't be
for.
the sections that you thought.
I
right?
agree.
I tell people that all the time.
Yeah, it's weird.
You think it'd be like certain parts that would really hurt, but it's
Mhm.
like it's not. Those
Well, and the
parts.
weird thing is too is I started doing like laser treatment, so I only have hair certain areas.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're actually only gonna do like a quarter of a Brazilian, but like it still needs done because I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that all works, but like, because I know it has to like be long enough, and you have to like actually have, enough.
We'll schedule it. Yeah.
length.
You want it to grow for like probably 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks maybe. It's fine.
Yeah,
He
it's-
doesn't care.
No, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
It
doesn't
can
give a
be.
fuck. Look at him. He doesn't.
I don't
care.
think most men care, honestly.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I haven't had to consider that in ever.
Don't
really.
do it. The dating pool has pee in it.
Yeah, that's just pee.
Huh?
Probably other shit too.
I've
I don't
joked.
know.
I'm like, if you go, I might just have to be a lesbian,
Yeah.
which
can
I feel like
understand
that would also be horrible. Like bitches are crazy too.
Some of them, yeah.
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 Kyrie was like, "You're never gonna date. If daddy dies, you don't even like
what they
people."
do.
And
They
I'm like,
sit around
"You're
and talk about what they're
true."
going to do when I die.
Well,
That's
I mean,
true.
my last therapist told me that you're supposed to think of the worst case scenario and come up with a plan for it. So then nothing seems.
Yeah, but
Too
then
scary?
I just start trying to think of worse and worse.
Then you're like,
case
I have anxiety
scenarios.
now.
Yeah.
Well, would you like me to think about
I have
you leaving
anxiety.
me? Because then that really pisses me off. At least if you die, I'm just sad.
Y'all are solid. He's not going anywhere.
No, so then I have to think about if he dies. Like I'm just gonna be really
Yeah,
sad.
you can't kill me though either. So
Well, you better act right.
yeah, I gotta
That's
die. I gotta
true.
die just right, because then you'll have money too.
That's true.
I got
It's a lot of pressure
insurance.
for
I got pretty
him.
good death insurance, but so I gotta die right. Yeah, now I even have to die right.
Now he has anxiety.
Yeah,
If you're
now
on
I have
the
anxiety
team
about
better.
dying right or wrong.
If you're on the clock, I get paid more, right?
Yes.
So if it's like
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 8
well,
to
I think it'd probably have to be
5.
like job duties. If I
Well,
was
if you're
like
in front of your
performing.
computer.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know if that counts. I get a heart attack just from the stress of staring at my computer screen.
And by
How about-
worrying about whether or not he's going to die right or
Yeah,
not.
I'm gonna die
to
right. Is this the right way to
maximize
go?
The benefits.
Fine.
Maybe I should try to get electrocuted by my work computers.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do
No,
that.
they'd be like, this guy was miserable and it's
He
suicide.
was trying. Yeah, he was trying.
Trying way too
And
hard.
now this is recorded also. So
Yeah,
now
so
there's
it's-
proof.
Now I can't go that way
you screwed
either.
yourself.
You
Way to
better
go.
survive at least 5 years or they're going to look
Yeah.
at me.
You better
first.
scrub your computer when I leave
Yeah.
here.
No, I'm really fucking up this whole dying
Yeah,
thing.
you are.
Damn it.
Ruining it. Can't do anything
Shit.
right.
You're
No,
not
you
gonna
would
go in peace.
I'm like dating at this age is like, oh my God, it's exhausting.
Do you do the online stuff?
Hell no.
I feel like
I
it'd be real.
refuse. Trisha one time made me some like dating profile page and I woke up and had like 736 messages of like, I love your hair. I
actual
love your
messages.
lips. Like does the carpet match the drape? Like
Oh, jeez, of course.
How
What?
many dick pics did you have though?
probably a lot. I literally didn't even open them. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. And I deleted the whole
can't
app because I
do
was like,
it.
I just cannot do this. Like, I feel like if I'm going to meet somebody, it's going to have to be in an organic way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to seek it out because then I feel like it's just, I've said this before. Like I haven't dated a lot. Like I've been just like a serial monogamous. Like I got divorced like 8 years ago and I've dated probably 4 people seriously since then and like learned things from each one of them, but none of them worked out, right? So I mean, I don't feel the need to like seek out dating because I have such a strong group of friends. So if it's like, you know, like my ex-husband and I, we have a very good co-parenting relationship. Like we don't always see eye to eye, but he's super active in our son's life. So
That's good.
it's not even technically fair to call me a single mom because Carter is with Cody often, you know what I mean? Like he's a good dad. He takes care of his responsibilities.
You're single and you're a mom.
Yes, yeah. So when my son is with his dad, I usually just want to go hang out with girlfriends. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like super lonely most of the time because I have a bunch of people around me anyway. If I didn't have that, I think maybe I'd be more apt to like find a partner.
Right.
But
Well, you seem really happy in your life, and I think that that's really important. So
I
like,
am, but that's the part that's like I feel like I have the rest of the stuff together, so it'd be like really cool to find a partner at this point.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, it lends to beyond your 20s, you know, like why do you, if you have a group of friends and a support group around you that you enjoy being around and you enjoy your life, what you're doing, like, and why go searching for trouble?
Yeah.
In a sense, you know what I mean? It's like there's a point where if trouble finds me, okay,
Yeah.
but, you know,
Yeah.
but like just to go looking for it when you know, like if the online scene's that bad and like
It's not
trying to
good.
date is terrible, it's like, well, why?
And
Like,
I don't do well with small talk either. Like I need somebody to like satisfy like the sapiosexual in me. Like I want to talk about like deep shit. I want to talk about aliens. I want to talk about space. I want to talk about quantum physics. I want to talk about business. I want to, you know what I mean? Like I want to be able to talk about all these like other things. I don't want you to be like, hey, beautiful, how was your day? Like you don't care. You don't care that the first toner didn't take right and I had to do it twice. It's 20 minutes behind. I never, you know what I mean? Like you don't care. You don't care.
yeah.
So it's like I need somebody.
It was good. How was yours? Like that's they
yeah.
don't-
Like I need somebody to like really want to talk about other stuff and like teach me about things. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. The last relationship that I was in, I probably learned the most from that relationship. I think about myself and about relationships. But it just, a lot of people these days, like this day and age with social media and like constant needing of like validation from other people, there's a real lack of commitment. Like people don't want to commit to anybody. They have FOMO and they want to, you know, like, oh, you're so great. I want you to still be a part of my life, but I want to be free to do whatever I want.
right.
And I just can't with that. Like, so, you know, we'll see. I just kind of like I've gone on a few dates with somebody. You might listen to this, but
Hey.
hey.
Teach her something, damn it.
Don't
I
forget
feel
dick
like
bag.
he kind of already has. Like he's just like so kind and thoughtful, and it's been like some years since I actually like liked somebody and had somebody kind of have their actions kind of match how they talk.
That's
to
a big
me.
one, huh?
It is, yeah, it's something. So, I mean, it might not go anywhere, but like I said, I'm just like, I'm in this phase of like learning, you know, about myself and about other people and about relationships. And people are so different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are so different. So it's interesting. You know, you guys have spent so many years together. So like, you know him, like if, and vice versa, like if something happens, you probably can guess how Cassie's going to react, right? Like you can be like, oh, she's going to be pissed.
Oh yeah.
Like you can feel it, but it's like whenever you're in this stage of being like, you know, like I'm 34, I'm going to be 35. Like my personality is pretty well established. Like I'm pretty calm, but you know, I also can be fiery. I know you're surprised.
You don't
Yeah, you
say.
don't
I know you're
say.
surprised.
Well, I think that's a important piece of it too. Is like getting to know somebody it's difficult to kind of like figure out how to connect with people. And it's not necessarily saying like people are difficult to connect with, but being able to match your personalities to
Yeah.
be able to mesh well and communicate.
Mhm.
Like just because even in any type of relationship, business, romantic, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and figuring out how to connect with that person and get to know each other, like that's a really difficult process. And that's, you know, dating
It's
is awesome.
tedious.
Yeah, and
It
dating's
takes
like
intentionality.
you start getting to know somebody, and it's like most of the time it's like, all right, you get to know them just enough to go, oh fuck, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Like, but even, you know, you mentioned we've been together for a long time. But we still are getting to know each other and ourselves through the process. So like I think that's a key part of like a relationship with somebody is when they start kind of allowing you to learn things about yourself through the process.
Yeah.
Like then it's like, all right, well, I'm not exactly who I thought I always was, I guess.
Yeah.
So now I have to like relearn who this person is through who I
Do
am
this
now.
new lens of who I am
Yeah,
now.
it's like, and it's a
Yeah.
constant like process. So like, you know, we
argue a lot less than we ever had, or like we get upset at each other a lot less. But like sometimes those conversations are even more uncomfortable because you're willing, as the further you go into a relationship, the deeper down in those conversations you'll go.
Yeah.
And it's
We
like,
have legit arguments more often because we do push
yeah, because we push back on each
a
other
lot more.
you know, because it's like you have that comfortability, but it takes a lot. It's exhausting, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's hard work to get to
can
know
be.
somebody.
Yeah. That's why like love is not a feeling, it's a choice.
It really is. Like,
And there is
Yeah.
some people who are not capable of choosing somebody else, I don't think.
No, I agree with that.
I agree with that. It maybe not forever, but a lot of people in that very specific time of their life, like that's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there are some people out there that just don't always have for sure they don't have the capacity to be the things that the people that love them would like them to be, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know, like sometimes, like I think it happens in parents and
100%.
siblings, particularly in family relationships, where you put something on somebody where it's like, well, you're my family, this, that, whatever, because it's
Yeah.
always, at least it used to be like, oh, families, blood's thicker than water, this, that, whatever. Like,
Mhm.
but sometimes like we're all different people too.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes people just can't be. I think that's part of the scary part of growing up too. For some people, it's like you realize you get older. It's like, oh, my parents aren't the person like who I thought they were. Like my siblings aren't the people.
I just
that
had this conversation
thought
with
they
my
were.
girl. Yep.
It's like you realize like, oh, like they're just another human being.
So I've literally learned through experience, but also through going to therapy, that all of that boils down to checking your expectations of people. Like if you're
Yep.
disappointed by somebody, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like check your expectations of them. If you don't expect them to behave a certain way, then you're probably not going to be disappointed whenever they don't behave how you wish that they would.
Like you have to set your boundaries so that you're not getting walked all over, but you can't especially if you put expectations on someone and you don't verbalize them.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
You know
too.
what I mean?
I
Like,
think I'm pretty good
I
at
expect
verbalizing
you
it.
to do this, but I didn't tell you that I wanted
Yeah,
you to do
that's
this.
never fair.
And so, like, and just because you said it once 6 months ago doesn't mean that like they're gonna remember that you said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in
Like-
romantic relationships.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. So then bitterness grows because it's like, well, I told him one time that I
Yeah.
like him to do this for me. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
like
that was a long time ago and he's a dumbass. It's
Yeah.
like, because he's a guy.
It just
and
is-
And if the
Or-
details look
Conversation.
different, there may not even be a bridge in that person's brain of like, that lesson was applicable here because this is different details.
Yeah.
for
Like
sure.
sometimes it takes, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of grace, like in that situation too.
for sure, grace
get
is
it.
huge.
Communication.
Huge.
I always remember like hearing that as a kid growing up, like, oh, how did you guys make your relationship work? Oh, communication. And it's like, oh yeah, communication. I get it. And then you grow up and get into relationships with adults and you realize the best relationships I have with any other adult is because I communicate, we understand each other.
Yeah.
And like,
Even when it's uncomfortable.
even when it's uncomfortable
Yeah.
or it's
Especially.
like, yeah. But if you can both recognize that like, all right, we're going to have this uncomfortable conversation, this, that, whatever, and walk away from it, learning something,
Yeah.
then it's, you build that trust and relationship with the person. It's like, okay, like we can do this. Like we can have uncomfortable conversations.
The hard thing is that, like I said, this day and age, it's like you can do that over and over with somebody and build that rapport. And then it's still just like, where's it going from here?
Mhm,
Nowhere.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's the part that makes you like almost like kind of jaded and cynical. Like, yeah, I'm actually kind of tired of this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to do it.
You got to find what makes you happy in life, right? Whatever that is. Some people it's relationships or family.
Yeah,
or
I was gonna say the
business or
beautiful
job
the
or-
beautiful part about my life is I feel like whatever relationship I get into next, like the happiness that I feel is not going to come from another person. Like I'm
Can't.
genuinely happy with like
Yeah.
my life and where it's going. Like, the friendships that I have, like the faith that I have. Like I know that it's like a solid foundation. So whoever comes along would just be like an addition to that.
Right. Well, yeah, it's a,
Like I don't need anybody for anything. Like I'm set, like, you know what I mean? Financially, mentally, physically, like I can take care of myself in all the ways. So it's like somebody has to like add. And I want to
There it
add for
is.
that person. Like I just want to like whoever the person is, you know what I mean? Like I want to like add to their life.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the big one, right? Is adding, because you said you never want to get into a relationship with anybody that you need something from.
yeah,
Like that's not a relationship.
I could never.
That's like a, that's like a loan.
Yeah.
You're taking out on that person.
That's
like-
codependency. Is
Yeah,
what that is.
that's no good. Like, so
Anybody
you
have
have to
time
be
for.
happy with yourself. And
Yeah.
it's a parable as old as time, right? Pull the beam out of your own eye before you judge someone else.
Yeah,
Like if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of somebody else, let
Mhm.
alone yourself, them, and that relationship with that
Yeah.
person? So you got to come to the table being happy with yourself
Yeah.
and being able to add to a situation. Like that's an awesome place to be in, right? To have somebody, like even a friend or whatever it is. Like people don't go into you wouldn't go into a business deal and find some homeless guy off the street and be like, we're going to be business partners and I'm going to give you everything. Like they need you, not the other way. Like, so like you wouldn't,
that
like,
person would be winning.
yeah, you wouldn't expect, like if you go into a business relationship, it'd be like, all right, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah, what are you
you
have to offer?
doing?
Right.
Like it's a partnership there.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, drag me along with you or vice versa.
Yeah,
Like that doesn't work in romantic relationships either. Right.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be some kind of whatever, not regret, but
conflict.
conflict
Some
and
kind of conflict.
yeah, and resent,
Hmm. That's a big thing.
yeah. And people don't look at that either. There's a lot of times where like people, or like they feel resent to somebody else because of like self-pride. Like how many relationships are, I hear a lot of times where guys will like talk about like, well, I couldn't be in a relationship that my wife made more than me. It's like, oh, because you'd resent her? Like that's instantly what you're telling me. Like
Check your ego.
yeah, like you'd resent somebody for like just making more money than you. Like that
People
seems
are weird.
That you're
Wild.
Behavior
using
is so
as
weird.
like a family unit. Like,
Yeah.
that's
What?
fucking
Yeah.
weird to me.
That is
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
Like your
Yes.
ego is so large
Yeah.
if you actually have that issue.
Well, we've had someone on the podcast say, well, do you guys, because Fred can come off as like not super conservative, but he can come off conservative in some of his mindsets, but he's really not. Like he's very independent. Like he sees
pick and
both sides. He
choose.
chooses both sides on
Yeah.
different things.
I could
But-
piss everybody off.
Yeah, for sure.
Me too.
But he's very very right-sided. And he said something about, well, you're like the head of the household and like you make the decisions for your family and you like because you're the man. And Fred's like, no. And he's just like kind of looked at him and he was like, no, like she has strengths. She takes that on. I have strength. I take that on. And sometimes those roles get flipped and it's just kind of fluid and it works however it works at the time. Like sometimes she has to make the hard decisions. Sometimes I do. And he was just like, yeah, that wouldn't work for me. And we're like, okay, well, like you have a good marriage right now. So like that's working for you. Like, but that's just not how we do it.
I don't think that those two things are synonymous either. Like being a leader and being the sole decision maker.
That's
That's-
exactly.
I literally,
Fred's exact
I
words
literally
were the
told him,
same thing.
I said,
Those
you don't,
aren't
I said,
synonymous
he
in
talked
my
about being a
head.
leader. I said, well, you're not talking about being a leader. You're talking about being a decision maker.
Mhm.
Two
I
different
literally,
things.
like
Hey.
verbatim. Yeah.
For sure.
And he was like, I was like, well, that's
Two different
by
things.
definition.
In my head, two
Yeah.
different things. Like,
And that's fine if that's the relationship they want, if to be a leader and the decision maker. Like
Yeah,
if
so
that's
like,
what
you guys
works
have a
out
happy
for
marriage,
you.
That's
I'd be
great,
like, as
but
your
that's
wife, you
not-
got to communicate that to me because
Yeah,
those
ma-
don't go together in my head.
And they are a Christian family, so I assume that she also like is okay with that.
Yeah.
That's a structure that is pretty common, and that was the structure that was preached to me for years.
Well, I mean, biblically, the man is supposed to be a leader.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, like, that's fine and dandy, but like,
as a leader, you
I don't-
make decisions that's best for
For the
everybody
fam-
involved,
yeah,
not just because like
yeah.
you're the man and I'm going to do like
Right.
a good leader would like listen to all involved
Yeah.
before making that final decision. And
Yeah.
he might, I think that maybe just the way he brought it across was like, we're not in that boat.
Yeah.
And I think that he probably
You're a
would
woman,
have
sit
worded
down,
it
go
differently.
back to the kitchen.
Like, yeah, listen, if I was the only one in the kitchen, we wouldn't eat very good.
You can't cook?
Oh, I can't cook.
Do you want to come over?
Yeah.
I could teach her a couple meals.
She
Okay.
has the ability.
Okay, but then next you're going to teach me how to keep plants alive because that's even worse than my
Yes.
cooking.
Yes.
That's true. She can't keep a damn thing alive.
I
It's a
can't.
That's
killer.
not true.
Kai and Fred are still alive.
You got
It's
plants in
him.
the bathroom.
Yeah, did you really look at the string of hearts? That's the string of hearts that we brought you some of the. It was like, gosh, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, in a tin, in a tea thing.
Yeah,
It's still on my shelf.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think I have a different plant in it now, though, because
it has not done great.
Yeah, I don't think that the one that you gave me did great either, and that could have been my fault because at my other house I didn't have a lot of light.
I don't know.
We
This
don't
thing's
have-
But I
never
planted
had-
something else in that tea thing, and I still have it. It's on my shelf.
Aw, yeah, that tea thing was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of like meh.
The best thing
Yeah,
is to
yeah.
pick a schedule, water all your plants on Mondays, but if you you gotta stick your finger in it.
You got to put your finger in it.
You just stuck your finger in my aloe the other day, and you're like,
I wasn't sure where we were going with this. I'm like, I'm gonna need a refill on
my
the coffee
aloe
and
Yeah.
plant,
Yeah, okay.
and you're like, this is dry as fuck. And
So
I was
aloe
like, I
is
think
probably
it's supposed
fine,
to
though.
be.
Yeah, aloe
I
is
don't know,
fine.
girl. It's gray. It looks
And-
real.
okay, that might need water.
Yeah,
It should
was
be in a
not-
window too. Aloe, like
Yeah.
succulents like that, they need
It was
highlight.
in a window, but it's not. Actually, then
Yeah.
I put it outside, and I left it outside last night, and it got kind of cold. You know?
They're pretty party
Are they
usually.
good?
Yeah. It's been alive for a long time, but it hasn't been looking good lately.
No.
Yeah.
I just kind of
Hmm.
out of sight, out of mind. I don't really see it sometimes
kinda
in the
forget
window
about
because the I'm just not great. Listen, I'm keeping myself alive,
You're doing great.
and that's
Sometimes that's all that matters.
You're doing great.
yeah, that is all that matters sometimes. But no, Fred cooks a lot in the house. He grills. I do a little bit. I did start baking in bread though, and that is a labor of love because I can't eat the bread, and this is sourdough, and that shit is.
That sounds amazing.
It's so
Yes.
good.
Oh my god, it sounds so
She's
good.
she's like just starting to get a.
Do you like
a
grill it
handle
and
on
make sandwiches?
Oh, that'd be a really good idea.
You should
too.
grill it and make sandwiches. That
That'd
would
be
be
good. Love that.
bomb.
Melts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she just made a
Mhm.
low. She'd made some pride like
With
a
banana
while
peppers
ago.
on it.
Ooh, I like good banana peppers.
Ooh, we just got some cast iron pie things for. in
Ooh, I
the-
love those.
We used it last night for the first time. We overcooked it a little bit with the dough that we got, but yeah.
Yeah, you can literally do like crescent rolls with like fruit and
That's what we tried. We
or peanut butter
overcooked
and
it.
jelly. That's good too.
Ooh,
A toasted peanut butter. and
Yes.
jelly. I did save a recipe to make my own jam.
I'm more like a.
See, I'm
You
getting
are
there.
domesticated as shit.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Listen,
I don't know how to make bread or
I go
jam.
out and get chicken eggs.
I don't
See?
do that either.
I'm,
See?
I'm really turning her around.
I
yeah,
love
the
it.
cooking thing. I'll take care of I do the grilling.
Yeah.
that's okay.
I love that.
Yeah, I haven't grilled in a long time.
Oh, you know what'd be so good is with your chicken eggs, grill the sourdough bread and do like steak or something and eggs on it. Make breakfast sandwiches with it.
And
We're
we
gonna
could-
be so hungry by the
You
end
want
of
me
this.
you want me to make you a loaf? I'm gonna make a loaf and drop it off at Flourish. For
I would
you.
love that. I love.
Well, by the
bread.
time next time I'll probably be ready for another.
Oh, I'll have him bring you in some bread.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only made 2 loaves so far. The first one was a little burnt. I had to cut it off the bottom. The second one I made for my
No.
mom this week, and it was really good.
Just recently.
Oh, just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've made other ones before, but now she's finally getting to the point where it's like, oh, this is actually
You're getting
bread.
it.
Like this is bread now. Yeah, because before it was like, I can see what
bread.
you tried. I can
Yeah.
see what you
A for
aimed
effort.
for.
A for effort.
Yeah.
I tried sourdough last winter, and it was just.
But this stuff turned out really,
This,
really good.
yeah.
It
Tried
was
again with
fantastic.
the new starter, and here we are. We're doing the thing.
Nice, you go,
Yeah,
girl.
well, there we go.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have to.
We're trading
I'll bring
bread
you-
for haircuts and vagina waxings.
Ooh.
Yes. God
See it?
damn, she just
Bartering.
says the right things.
Bartering.
There we go.
You just have to let me know like 4 days ahead of time, so I know. You
Yep.
can't just be like, "Oh, hey, I'm seeing Courtney tomorrow."
I
'cause-
wasn't sure if you
No.
meant for like growing your hair out or for
Yeah.
making the bread.
for bread.
I was like, no, you need
Yeah.
more than 4
Wait,
days.
Are we talking about my haircut, your
need
hair?
more than
or
4
the-
days of
yeah.
growth.
God damn.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll,
fine.
we'll set it up. We'll get you some bread, and I'll get my hair cut, and she'll get her vagina waxed. So-
Perfect.
Yeah.
Courtney, thank you so much.
Thanks
that was
for
a blast.
having me.
Thanks for
Could
hanging
you
out.
say
and
vulva though?
vulva, sorry,
Thank
not vagina,
you.
because your vagina is actually right.
That yes, thank
Yes.
you.
Biology. Yep. Nope.
Full
Just
circle.
devotion to accuracy department. I appreciate it.
Full circle. That is what you pay me for.
Yep. To fact check when I say stupid shit and
Mhm.
run the things, and I appreciate it.
Everybody's got their role.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks, Courtney.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Courtney.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember, check out the website chronic-curiosity.com to join us at the forum, have some fun, interaction, pick you up a comfy t-shirt, or if you just want to support the show and donate, all that is on the website as well. thank you. Until next time.
See ya.